Terry, you changed the line around. I mean, do you go down to NASA and ask them to throw it in their computer, pick the names out of a hat, or how do you go about it?
Well, when you're not scoring goals, you've got to change something around, try to find a nucleus that'll score goals and be a well-balanced team, and we're still trying to strive for that balance.
Kevin Dineen tonight plays on a wing. He's got Tippett on the other wing. Why?
Well, at first, when I first brought them up, they played pretty well together. They complemented each other very, very well, and I'm hoping that they can do the same thing tonight in the near future and keep it going all the way through the season. They're veteran players. They know what to expect. They've been through the fire before, and they know exactly what to do, and they seem to play very well with each other.
Terry, you've been on losing teams that have had 4- and 5-game losing streaks as a player. You could take your frustration out. What do you do, and what goes on in your belly when you've lost 4 in a row?
Well, it's not a good gut feeling for anybody, the players or the other coaching staff. What you got to do is you got to look at the tapes longer. You've got to work with the players longer. You got to try a solution to solve the problems that you're having, and you try to put a lot of positives into a lot of negatives because there's a lot of negatives going on with losses.
And the big positive tonight has got to start with the defense, doesn't it?
Well, it's every game. The defense is the backbone of the whole team. If they're solid, the front line is solid.
Well, we'll see what happens tonight. If they get a solid defensive performance, then Terry Ruskowski's stomach will feel a lot better. We'll have more action live from the Kemper Arena on Paramount 20 after this.
Welcome to Kemper Arena in Kansas City. Adam Gordon along with Barry Warner and the Aeros and the Blades in a battle for the second spot in the IHL Central Division. The Kansas City Blades at 18-2 with 38 points. The Aeros 17-16-4 with 38 points. So with a win tonight, someone will be in the second spot. In goal tonight for the Houston Aeros, it'll be Troy Gamble, 8-8-3 mark with a 3.56 goals against average, 89.1 on the save percentage. Defending the goal to our right. But I'll tell you what, the big counterpart to our left, Larry Dick in goal, 7-3-1, a 2.55 goals against average. So the Aeros will have their hands full trying to get one by him. Terry Ruskowski, the head coach of the Aeros, behind the bench, 9-7-1, and his counterpart. Tell you what, Jim Wiley, he's done a fantastic job considering the fact that the Blades not playing such great hockey right now. Their record, as we said, at 500, 18-2. Quickly, the starting lineups for tonight's hockey game. Kevin Grant defensively with Oleg Shagarodsky, and then Chitteroni, Freer, and Arniel. For the Aeros, for Kansas City, quickly defensively, it'll be Bouchon, along with Claudio Scremin, contain Nazarov and Ken Hodge up front. Drop of the puck, we're underway, and it's in Aero territory. Grant rolled it up the far boards for Chitteroni, and now out to center ice. Here come the Aeros now. Here's Arniel across the line. He's got Chitteroni breaking, trying to find Shagarodsky. Puck picked up by the Blades and lobbed ahead for JF Contain. Across the line, Contain trying to muscle it ahead. Chitteroni bumps him along the boards, and I think, Barry, that's what we're going to see here in the first 5 minutes. The Aeros needing to use the body and throw it around a bit in the early going here and soften up the Blade defense.
They've got to get on Kansas City immediately. We'll talk about that when we have a break and show the stats.
Here's a puck that's centered, broken up by Chitteroni of the Aeros. Puck near side contained. He takes a bump along the boards. Freer in there. Freer trying to muscle it free and play halted. If you notice quickly, Mark Freer, who's down on the ice right now, but as he gets back up, Mark Freer's got the C on his chest for captain. Appointed captain Curtis Hunt has been out of the lineup, and some more sad news today for Curtis Hunt.
Well, Curtis Hunt looked very, very stiff like a cigar store Indian this morning when we had breakfast. He tried to skate. Fortunately, Dr. Tim Sitter, the team physician, is here. About 15 minutes into this morning's practice, he got carried off. I mean, he was in miserable pain. He spent the day during the practice lying down. In the afternoon, he worked out in the pool. He's watching the game at home by the television at the hotel. The bus ride had been too tough for him.
Face-off will be to the left of Troy Gamble. Jerry Mines, the team physician, or team trainer, I should say, saying that perhaps it's a muscle spasm, but that's bad news for the Aeros, needing their D back as the puck is in Aero territory. Gamble trying to clear, cannot, knocked away by Firschweiler of the Blades. Here's Firschweiler along the boards, trying to loop it down for Dean Grillo. Grillo centered a pass, but it came to the near side. Here's a quick shot by Kevin Wortman, former two-time All-Star in this league, trying to work the puck ahead. Pellerin knocked it down, and the Aeros come to center ice, 2-on-2. Young with Yo. Clayton Young across the line. Young trying to drop it back. It slipped back to Pellerin along the boards. He's knocked into the near side by Firschweiler, and now it's Jan Shalhoub. Flip the puck back into Aero territory, and Jakes is back. Jakes ahead for Pellerin, right side, trying to muscle it through Firschweiler. It bounced at center ice, and now Dean Grillo back to his own blue line. He'll bang it ahead, and there was Clayton Young to muscle it away, but the Kansas City Blades are there. Mike Rathje shoots it into Aero territory, and Carl Valamont will hustle back. How important is it having Carl Valamont at 100%?
Well, he's probably about 75%, but that's a big improvement.
Here's an icing call coming back into Kansas City territory. Michael Sikora back to touching the face-off back in Aero territory. We've played, not quite 2 minutes here in this first period, no score.
And the fact is he's about 75% as we take a look at Terry Ruskowski's team record, 5 of 7 on their last 7 road games, and we hope to make that 7 out of 9 with games tonight and tomorrow night.
Big contest tomorrow in Milwaukee.
Valamont realistically needed to rest probably about 4 or 5 more days, but the team needs him out here.
Face off to the right of Gamble. Murray Eves returning to the lineup. His last action was in San Diego, a game he wasn't supposed to play in. He was the hero, scoring a goal with a sub sandwich in his gut, and he scored the game winner in the shootout.
He had the normal team meal tonight.
There you go. Here's a shot by Emmons, knocked away. Aeros trying to dig it out. It's brought back to Gary Emmons, left side, a long shot, and a glove save made by Gamble. He'll tuck that away and hold on with now 18 minutes to go here in this first period. No score, and quite frankly, the Blades have come out here in this first period and kind of put a little pressure on the Aeros, and that's the first shot on goal to Troy Gamble.
Well, they know they have to. The record speaks loud and clear for Jim Wiley's club, the former center iceman for Tulsa. They've outscored teams 54-36 in the first period, outshot them by over 100.
Now the puck is back off the face-off into Houston Aero territory. Here's a guy that needs to have a big game. Rob Robinson getting out this center ice. Back is Michael Sikora. Takes a whack from Murray Eves. Kevin Dineen popped it away. Dineen is out there with Tippett and Eves. This is, I guess the political way to say it is the veteran line out there right now.
The older gentleman.
There you go. Sikora down near side. Rolled along the boards for Kansas City. Chris Tansel. He'll go to the All-Star game. Rolled it ahead for Gary Emmons across the line. Here's a 3-on-2. Pass to the left side for Cherbaya. The drive. That's tipped away by Troy Gamble. Now picked up by Cherbayev at the hash marks. Left side, trying to muscle it through the check of Kevin Grant. Cherbayev's got it behind the net. Centered it out in front, but there was Kevin Dineen for the Houston Aeros. He'll romp the center ice. Give the puck to Eves, laboring into the Kansas City zone. That is offsides as it's played by Eves. Face-off. We'll come back at center with 17 minutes, 16 seconds to play in the first. No score in the hockey game. The Aeros, as we've talked about, Barry, will resume play tomorrow night in Bradley Center, a game that you can see right here on Paramount 20, and it'll be a big contest. The Aeros have not beaten Milwaukee. They won earlier in the year, Milwaukee did, and it's going to be a big game if the Aeros plan to hold on to second place pending they win tonight. It's shot into Kansas City territory, and it's back for Larry Dick out of the net. Yet to be tested in this hockey game is a puck centered, tipped away as Freer tried to find the handle. Valamont back at center, trying to snap it back, but it's picked up by Ken Hodge Jr. Longtime Boston Bruin gets the puck ahead, and it's rolled by the Blades. Andre Bouchon back into Aero territory. Jakes is back. This is an icing call. Play halted with 3 minutes gone in the first, and a scoreless hockey game. And we'll take time out. We'll have more IHL action from Kemper Arena right after this. It's a scoreless hockey game. Adam Gordon along with Barry Warner. 3 minutes gone in the first. Face off in the Kansas City zone to the right of Larry Dick. Freer, Arniel, and Mario Chitteroli dropping the puck, and the Kansas City Blades have got it. Bouchon flipped it out to the fireboards. It's out at center. Freer has to hustle back. He'll be the first one there at his own blue line to gather in the puck and turn up ice. Right to left pass for Chitteroli, jammed into Kansas City territory. Claudio Scremin, he tries to work it free. He's muscled by Scott Arniel. Now Freer's got it. It's worked along the boards by J.F. Contain of the Blades. Now Scremin trying to pop it out of there. Scremin and Freer out on the ice, the two guys we featured that both should have been in the IHL All-Star game, but will be at home during the All-Star break. Now it is Arniel trying to turn it around, bumped by Scremin. Now it is Freer moving in with a quick shot, and that was deflected away by Bouchon. Now Scremin takes over for Kansas City. Here come the Blades now. It's brought in by Ken Hodge across the line. That looked offsides. It was brought in by Nazaroff, and play is whistled down.
Hodge, who is without question one of the best face-off men in the IHL, used his glove for a different type of a face-off. Right in the face of Mario Chitteroni as they were in that scrum, right in the near board.
It's a scoreless hockey game. 4 minutes gone. The Aeros face-off at center. Young Yo and Brian Pellerin with Kevin Grant, Oleg Shargorodsky. The extra forward tonight for the Aeros will be Mike Maurice. He will be used sparingly tonight. Here's Oleg Shargorodsky now as he carries the puck through center. Shargorodsky right side, dumped the puck into Kansas City territory. Larry Dick out of the net to slow it. Now jammed along the boards by the Aeros. Can they clear it? It's knocked away by Pellerin for Houston. Back to the line. Here is Yo. Nice move to cut through. Couldn't find anyone to pass to. Pellerin muscling in there nicely as he's in there with Mike Rathje. They go skate to skate along the boards. Rathje trying to knock it free. It's in skates. They continue to grind it out and finally play. Is whistled down with a face-off to the left of Larry Dick in Kansas City territory. 15:43 to go in the first. No score.
Rathje, number 25, the 6'6" defenseman who came back from surgery much quicker than they expected. Doesn't throw his body around the way that you would like to see for a guy his size. When he pins you along the boards, you're not going to get away.
You mentioned 6'6", all muscle. This kid has no body fat on him. He is big and he is strong. And he is going to be an outstanding player, and I know he'll get his chance. Maybe, well, I don't know if it'll be this year with the NHL looking very bleak right now, but he'll get his chance. And he'll be a regular up there. I know that. He is an outstanding defenseman. Here is Rathje, by the way. He'll take the pass and boom it up to Jan Shalhoub across the line now, and that's going to be offsides, and the face-off will be brought back at center ice. Jan Shalhoub, the leading scorer, 23 goals, 21 assists, 44 points. He's got 6 points on 3 goals, 3 assists against the Aeros. That's in 3 games. He's just one of the nicest guys, I guess is the best way to put it. One of the nicest guys you'd ever want to meet. He just comes in, he's having a lot of fun. A lot of times, Barry, I think Europeans get a knock for being kind of a non-essential kind of guy on the team. They kind of just are there to going through the motions, but this guy, everybody loves.
He's become a big part of their team. They're featuring him in commercials around the Kansas City area.
Yeah, everybody really jumping on the Jan Shalhoub bandwagon, and rightly so. And like you said in the top there, I think a definite Rookie of the Year candidate. Here's a puck in front, knocked away, and Murray Eves will romp to center ice for the Houston Aeros, barreling down the left side with Tippett and Dineen. Eves across the line, dropped it back, and here's a penalty coming up as Gary Emmons and Chris Tansel get in there to knock Eves down. Or actually, that wasn't Eves. He's down along the boards. I can't see who it was. Is it Valenmont? No, it's Jakes. No, Goslin. Excuse me. Steve Goslin is down, and he's holding. Oh boy. And I'll tell you what, the D is already done. I know Barry, that Goslin has been maligned a little bit here, and he has struggled at times. But at this point, you can't afford to lose any defenseman.
No way in the world. The team is shorthanded. They let Chris Foy go the other day. Terry Ruskowski yelling right now at the top of his lungs at the referee.
Well, there's going to be a penalty. I mean, there's a penalty coming up. I don't know if he wants more than 2. And maybe he does, because there's only 2 minutes, and we'll take another look at it. And right now, a good low-angle shot of it. Boy, it looks like he just lost his edge.
He lost his edge, and as you said, crashed and burned into the boards. May have been a little extra shove, but it wasn't anything vicious with the stick.
No, and I don't know why Terry's so upset. And now he wants Dave Tippett to go over and find out Goslin coming over. There's a look at Pete Dineen. You can see Pete Dineen on the bench there. Pete Dineen, the director of player personnel, and I think maybe want to take his turn behind the bench and give Roscoe a little help back there.
Well, Murray Eves was there the other night, so now Muzz is skating. Pete's down there. Pete normally sits up in the press box, but tonight he's been on a 2-week road trip. Decides to come back and watch it from behind the dasher.
Gary Emmons in the box. Aeros on the power play, but can't come up with a face-off, and Dodie Wood is there for Kansas City. He'll get one ahead and out to center ice, so the Aeros will go back. Their power play has been much better. The last game against the Denver Grizzlies, although they only had 1 of 7, I'll tell you what, they moved the puck very well, and Scott Arniel and Dave Tippett both felt that the power play was starting to come to life, as they did get 1 goal in that hockey game, but their patience with the puck and the way they cycle it along the boards, they're very happy with that, but they're having troubles here, and now they're going to be short, or going to be on a 2-on-1 break. Kansas City, Tanzel across the line, shoots, and he just missed it wide. That's one thing the Aeros give up, is a lot of outnumbered rushes. They can't afford to do that. Here's Arniel across the line. The other way, Arniel pulls up, centered one. That was jammed away by Larry Dick. Now the puck picked up back to the line. It's out at center ice. So the Aeros, well, they've got minute 14 left on the power play, and 14-17 to go in the first. No score. Puck in Kansas City territory. JF contained, trying to get it out of there. Cannot. Shargorodsky held it in for Tippett at a left point. Dave Tippett now. Right back for Shargorodsky is the Aeros moving along the perimeter now. Here's Arniel. Back top of the slot for Tippett. For Arniel. One-time shot right on, and that was deflected away. I think that hit Freer as well, and the Blades turn and clear it down the ice. 6 minutes gone in the first. No score. 47 seconds left in the Emmons minor. And a scoreless hockey game as the Aeros will turn it around. Here's Dave Tippett from within his own end. A pass to the left side for Kevin Graeme. Just dodging a scrum check, but Bouchon is there to clear it. Now Eves working hard along the boards, trying to grind it out. Clayton Young is there. He can't move it ahead, and there is JF contained for Kansas City to shoot it down, and that'll leave half a minute on the power play. Aeros really on this particular power play not getting a particular good start. Very stagnant on this man advantage. Now they'll dump the puck in. Larry Dick though out of the net. Bobbled it for just a second, but Bouchon is there trying to clear it to Ferschweiler, not out of the zone. Quick puck movement though, eludes the Aero defense, and now it is Claudio Scremin. Scremin right side, hits the line with Ferschweiler, dumps it in. Gamble there to spear it aside. The penalty is now over. Teams at 5 aside. Emmons out of the box. Now at center, here is Valamont, and he gave the puck away. Emmons across the line with Ferschweiler, shoots, and he whipped it wide of the net. Gamble trying to protect the rebound, keep it in foot between the circles, and that's popped away by Murray Eves. Eves now down the left side. Eves will shoot it just on goal, and there was a stick save by Larry Dick. Now the puck behind the net. Rafji trying to move it along the boards. It's into the corner for Mike Maurice. Base of the right circle. Takes a bump by Rafji. Now it is Dean Grillo. Jammed it behind the net for Claudio Scremin. And here come the Blades. Scremin pass it center for Grillo. Trying to work it ahead as the Aeros make some changes, and now it is Steve Jakes. Back along for Rob Robinson. Quick pass at center for Chitteroni. And now it is Yo. A bouncing puck. Nice play. Pellerin rated on goal. He's tripped up though. And a penalty coming up to Ken Hodge. Pellerin was dumped, and the Aeros are going to get another power play, and we'll bring it to you when we return. 12-17 left in the first. No score. More from Kemper Arena right after this. Really needed to take advantage of some of their chances right now.
Powerless power play.
Here is Kevin Grant now across the line. Grant trying to muscle it through the check of Kenny Hammond. Sikora is there to clear it though, and this will go all the way down the ice. So the power plays down to 24 seconds, and quite frankly, no shots on goal. And the Aeros, they've set up just the one time, but still no good quality chances.
The best scoring shot was Tansel, and that was shorthanded.
Now the puck is in Kansas City territory. Larry Dick trying to clear it. It's along the boards and jammed back to the line and out to center ice, and the Aeros power play now down to 6 seconds. Here is Kevin Grant. So the Aeros now 0 for 2 on the power play, but a pass comes into Maurice, rated on goal, but he can't get the shot away as Kenny Hammond stayed with him with a stride for stride check. Emmons is able to clear it. Teams at 5 aside. Tansel right wing boards at center, worked it up ahead for Kenny Hammond, backhanded into Aero territory. Out of the net, it's Gamble. Leave it for Kevin Grant. Grant, they say about 80% with the shoulder, but he's starting to get his range of motion back. In fact, he started hitting with the shoulder a little bit. Now Maurice tipped the puck into Kansas City territory. Out of the net, Larry Dick. Roll it near side for Claudio Scremin. Up the right wing boards, a pass at center ice. It was Cherbayev trying to move it ahead. That's picked away by Brian Pellerin. Runs it into into Kansas City territory. Chitteroni popped it to Yo behind the net. Here is Yo, base of the right circle. Yo trying to fire it down for Chitteroni. It's intercepted by Tansel of the Blades. Can he clear it? Nope. Held in nicely by Yo. Now Emmons muscling it free. And here comes team captain Gary Emmons for Kansas City to Chris Tansel. He'll boom that all the way down the ice. This will be an icing call as Jake's back. But I'll tell you what, Barry, with 9:15 left in the first, the Aeros, now they're starting to pick up their play a little bit. Their power plays have given some confidence. But let's take a look at the upcoming schedule for the Houston Aeros. And, of course, we talked about tomorrow night. The Milwaukee Admirals, that will be seen right here on KTXH. In fact, this television schedule, you look at it, Denver Grizzlies next Friday night at 8 o'clock. Then January 21st, a rare home game that KTXH will broadcast at 7 o'clock. The Cleveland Lumberjacks, their only appearance. So we invite you to stay tuned right here. 9:15 left in the first, no score.
As we look at Pete Dineen back from his sojourn to the Eastern League, where he checked out some young prospects. Normally up here with us, he's behind the dasher tonight, watching things with Terry Ruskowski. What a marvelous job he's done putting this team together.
Face off to the right of Larry Dick. He has a little bit of a concern where his brother might be in the next week, but I think from what I understand, there was talk yesterday that they got the deal done, but then late last night something came over AP saying that the owners didn't like the deal, and now all of a sudden it's beginning to look like the season is not. So that's good news for the Aeros. I don't know about the IHL, though. Will that mean an influx of NHL players? We'll have to wait and see.
And does Kevin Dineen count against the Aero roster, because that was before the situation would come to a halt.
Here's Brian Pellerin now. He'll snap one ahead, a pass that's intercepted by Andre Bouchan across the line. Here is JF Contain, pulls up, gets a shot away, fan on it, now loose puck in front. Robinson, who went down, gets back up, trying to chop it away from Nazarov. Here is Andre Nazarov, centering pass, worked away by Robinson. Robinson trying to clear it, cannot. He'll pick it up near side, still can't clear it as he takes a bump from Hodge. Here is Nazarov, base of the right circle, trying to center one, and Robinson again fell, but it's picked up by JF Contain. Now Contain centered one, in skates, Robinson trying to muscle it free. Nazarov and Robinson muscling hard. Nazarov winning that battle, though. Here's Andre Nazarov, turns, wraparound shot, blocked by Gamble. It'll go into the far corner. Nazarov right in. Here's the shot, whipped just wide by JF Contain. Aeros getting outworked in their own end. They've got to pick it up now. Here's a centering shot as that was deflected away. Scrimmin let that go from a right point. It's back at center ice. The big talk has been the Aeros getting out muscled a lot in their own end, and that's what went on in that shift. Great job by the Kansas City Blades as icing is the call, and a face-off back in Kansas City, in the Kansas City zone, and we'll bring more IHL action to you next. 7:47. Play in the first, no score. Adam Gordon along with Barry Warner, no score, but boy, it came close. Kansas City really working hard in the Aero zone.
Nazarov almost tries a wraparound there, just deflected. One puck goes off of Larry Robinson's keeper. They were winning the battle of the corners and taking the play to the Aeros in their own end.
Face off in the circle to the right side of Larry Dick. Here is Shagarodsky now, moving down the left side, watched by Cherbayev. Shagarodsky centered one, blocked by Michael Sikora. Now Kevin Dineen in a battle with Cherbayev. They go at it skate to skate. Here's Alexander Cherbayev for Kansas City trying to clear it, and he worked it right through the check of Dave Tippett, now at center ice. Here's Oleg Shagarodsky now, shoots it into Kansas City territory. 7.5 to play in the first, scoreless hockey game. Here's a puck back to the line. Valamont barely held it in, right point, worked it down. Dineen cuts into the circle, wide, shoots. Larry Dick with a left pad save, and now it is Cherbayev in behind the net. Roll it to Chris Tansel, and now the Blades romp the center ice. Hammond over for Emmons across the line, shoots it into Aero territory. Here is Kenny Hammond pinching it along the boards. He's normally a defenseman, but he was playing the puck deep. Worked it along the boards near side. Emmons held it in right point, and it goes right back down into Aero territory behind the cage for Shagarodsky. Jammed it for Kevin Dineen. He's worked on by Sikora. Dineen trying to work it free. Sikora and Kevin Dineen going at it along the boards, and now Dineen will come at center. Here is Dineen, left side, shoots it in, and a glove stop by Larry Dick. Now it is Michael Sikora, who gave the puck away to Kevin Dineen. Bad choice there as it's picked up. Dineen trying to move it along, back to the line. Robinson, a long shot. That's blocked by Hammond, and the Blades come to center. Here comes Kansas City now. Cherbayev shoots it in as Cherbayev and Grant get a little tied up at center ice, but back is Rob Robinson to retrieve the puck. 6:26 to go in the first, no score. Grant cross ice for Yo at center. Yo, he'll dump the puck in, but Larry Dick able to slow it for the first one back. Rathje, he'll send it to the near side. Jan Shalhoub for Kansas City, trying to get it ahead for Kevin Wortman, blocked there by Yo. Tell you what, Mike Yo's played 3 shifts in this hockey game, and they've all been impressive thus far. He's worked very hard. Now Kevin Grant gave the puck away to Ferschweiler. Here's Pat Ferschweiler moving in. Grant knocked him down. Kevin Grant trying to work it ahead, and here come the Aeros at center. Yo shuffles the pass into Kansas City territory. Rathje is back, watched on the forecheck by Pellerin. Here is Shalhoub for Kansas City. Jan Shalhoub for Ferschweiler. Get it to Dean Grillo. A bouncing puck, having a little trouble with it, but he got it into Aero territory, and Valamont goes back. Here is Carl Valamont as the Aeros try to catch the Blades changing. Yo at center, no, late in the shift. He needs a line change himself. Yo muscled the puck into Kansas City territory, bumped by Scremin, and the Blades are back. Andre Bouchan for the Blades. Near side for Jay J.F. Contain up the right side, center ice. He was a big-time problem for the Aeros in the Summit there last week, causing all kinds of problems. He had an outstanding 2-game series against the Aeros. Here's a puck at center ice now. Contained, by the way, against the Aeros. 3 goals, 2 assists, 5 points. Most of those in that 2-game series. In fact, I think all of them were in that 2-game series. Here's the puck at center. Arniel lost it at center, and now Bouchon carries into Aero territory for J.F. Contain. He takes a check from Arniel. Now the puck centered. Here's Contain. Woo had it roll off his stick. Chitteroni trying to get it out of there. And now Freer's got a chance. A man to beat. Here's Freer. Shoots right on. And Larry Dick the save. Now Arniel trying to barrel in there. He's muscled off the puck by Scremin. Good play by Claudio Scremin. Now at center. Here is Kevin Grant. That is offsides play whistled down with 4:35 left. Let's take time out. No score from Kemper Arena. We'll be back. Inside Kemper Arena, Adam Gordon along with Barry Warner. Mark Freer with a great chance to put the Aeros on the board.
He gets the puck and comes in on a breakaway and lets the shot fly, and Dick comes up with a nice save.
Now the puck in Kansas City territory as we're back to action at center ice. The Aeros have got it. Here's Murray Eves now across the line. Had that rejected. Now back at center. Here is Murray Eves. Rolled it ahead for Dave Tippett. Barrels in. Wide shoots. Dick got a save on that one. Did he? A little one-timer. And Kevin Dick rejects that like a bad habit. He's down to cover up and hold on. So Larry Dick taking over where he left off just a week ago in Houston.
You know, it's interesting. Murray Eves is not the fastest guy in the world, but he certainly has not seen his playmaking skills diminished when he's been broadcasting with you. Kevin Dineen almost gets the rebound, but he overskates the puck. A good job there by the defenseman, helping ride him off the puck. As we take another look, the shot's so important on the rebound. And you see Kevin has just twisted off a little bit by Workman, who pulled him to the backside.
Face off to the right of Larry Dick. Murray Eves to take the draw against Gary Emmons, who's tossed out of the circle while I got a second. I want to say hi to all the gang at Griff's in Houston. I know the Aeros staff is there. The entire staff there having a great time at Griff's watching the game, and so hello to all you there. Hope you're enjoying a great contest tonight. The Aeros and the Blades scoreless. Save a cold one for me when I get back. Here's the puck now in Kansas City territory. Cold Coke, of course, right? Here
Iced tea.
There you go. Here's Oleg Shagaratsky in his own zone. Pass Tippett. Now worked up for Eves. Across the line. He'll dump the puck in, but Michael Sikora is back. And now it's Alexander Cherbayev. Cherbayev at center ice. Trying to bring the puck ahead. That's picked away by Kevin Dineen. Trying to muscle it ahead. Frees it. Shot back into Aero territory. You know, this line of Tansel and Emmons and Cherbayev normally not the line you usually see. Instead of Cherbayev, it's usually David Bruce, but the line of Bruce, Tansel, and Emmons was -4. They were -4 the last time they played Atlanta, and Jim Wiley said, hey, you guys, we're going to sit one of you, and he decided to sit David Bruce, and he puts Cherbayev out there, and right now they've responded as the puck at center ice. Here's Shagaransky now across the line. Takes a bump along the board, shoots it into Kansas City territory. Rafji back behind the net to the near side, Firschweiler. He takes a hit from Mike Yo. What's that? A check? And now the puck is back into Kansas City territory. For a minute there, the only check I thought I saw was Sikora.
Or Chaloon.
Here's the puck now at center ice. And now it is Robinson trying to pump it ahead, and it's worked away by Kevin Workman across the line for Kansas City. Workman for Firschweiler. In skates. Yo bumps him off the puck. And here is Young to clear it out at center. Mike Rafji. He'll turn it into Aero territory. Chaloon takes a bump at the blue line, trying to draw a penalty. Jim Wiley just livid right now, wanting a penalty call, and he won't get it as our referee tonight. Luke Galvin says no. Play goes on. Pocket center now for Brian Pellerin. His cross-ice pass misses everybody, and it goes back into Kansas City territory. 2.5 to go in the first, no score. Workman, right wing board, shoots it into Aero territory. Back to get it now is Mario Chitteroni. He's out there with Freer and Arniel. Chitteroni now. Up the left side, trying to bang one out of there. Knocked back by Contain. Weak clear, and that's going to pay the price now as it's Claudio Scremin. Takes over along the left side. He centered it, gambled down, and covering up Claudio Scremin trying to do the job there at the left point and gambled down to make the save.
Terry Ruskowski originally wanted to go with 5 defensemen, but with the injury earlier to Steve Goslin, he's got to use 4. Back-to-back games tomorrow night. He wanted to kind of rotate, give the guys some more rest as we take a look at Roscoe, who has definitely been pained by the 4-game losing streak. We'll try to get you an update when we speak to Scott Arniel between periods on the status of Steve Goslin.
Face off in the circle to the right side of Troy Gant. Gamble first stays out with Chitteroni and Arniel. Shagarodsky out there with Kevin Grant defensively. Kansas City lines up with Ken Hodge Jr. with J.F. Contain. And Andre Nazarov defensively. Andre Bouchon, Claudio Scremin, who is a licensed pilot. In fact, I think just a check ride away from his instruments, which is a step up from private. He can fly in bad weather. And from what I understand, an outstanding pilot. Likes to do it just in his spare time when he can, but I understand he's outstanding. Puck is in Kansas City territory now. It's Andre Bouchon. Jammed the puck ahead to the near side. J.F. Contain trying to clear it. Muscled by Shagarodsky. Long shot by Chitteroni just wide of the net. Now, Freer first one there for Houston. Dropped it back for Mario Chitteroni. Looking for Arniel. Scott Arniel, base of the right circle. Can't advance it. Now Scremin takes over for the Blades. Scremin pass at center ice for Hodge. Here comes Ken Hodge. Nice pass. Contain back for Hodge. Wine shoots. Gamble down. Glove save, and he'll hold on. I'll tell you what, Barry, that's a key stop by Troy Gamble, because he didn't give a rebound up, because if he did, J.F. Contain was right there to pounce on it.
He did an excellent job smothering the puck, and what they did there, they cheated a little bit. They faked coming out of the end one way and went the other, and you see Freer had a tough time getting back because they came the opposite way. And the experience of Troy Gamble is he just grabbed that puck from Hodge and just closed the big glove on it very quickly.
Face off in the circle to the left side of Troy Gamble. Eves, Tippett, and Dineen with Grant and Valamon. Emmons with Chris Tansel and Alexander Cherbayev. Kenny Hammond and Michael Secor defensively as Cherbayev a shot blocked. Emmons tries to jam one in there. And out is Kevin Grant trying to work the puck away in the corner. And it's tipped away by Kevin Dineen, but can't clear the zone. Now Eves overskates it, but Kevin Grant is there to knock it back at center ice. And here's Alexander Cherbayev. Shoots it into Aero territory. Gamble out of the cage to slow it. And here's Carl Valamon. First one back for Houston. Get it to Tippett. Muscled it out at center. And Michael Secor is there. 6'3", 200 pounds. And they felt Kansas City really thought, even though he hasn't been getting a lot of quality ice time, the fact that he's been getting a lot and he's a big defenseman, if the NHL were to get back, he would probably be sent right up to the San Jose Sharks. As we're going to get a penalty here, interference the call, and Kansas City is going to go on the power play, and I think Kevin Dineen will be the man. And he will be. He'll go in the box 2 minutes for interference, and we'll get a look at the Kansas City Blades power play. And Chris Tansel, one of the main guns for the Kansas City Blades. 21 goals, 16 assists, 37 points, but 6 power play goals. The #1 power play guy for the Kansas City Blades. Dineen in for interference.
Normally they have number 3, Dwayne Joyce, at the point that he quarterbacks it, but we see a new name out there, and that's Ken Hammond, who Pete Dineen really wanted to sign and bring to the Aero training camp, but things did not work out. Hammond played poorly at the start of the road trip, missed both games. In fact, he sat out 4 games. Back in the lineup tonight, played at RPI. I wonder if he played at the same time that Graeme Townshend did.
Face off will be in the circle to the left side of Troy Gamble when we resume play, but we've got a big hole right in front of the Aeros bench. And the linesmen in there doing the job. Our linesmen tonight, by the way, Jeff Huber and Dave Prygun. And they're down doing the job. So not only blowing lines down are these guys, they're ice repairmen. And the Aeros Blades scoreless, under a minute to go in the first period. And well, we got a minute here. Here's a top secret message for all you squadron leaders. You and your troops can support the Houston Aeros war effort. Great seats are available for all games for groups of 20 or more. Enjoy special group pricing and see your company name in lights. On the scoreboard, squadron leaders receive an Aeros t-shirt, and everyone in your group is eligible to win prizes in the group sweepstakes. Enlist in the Aero Force. Call 627-AERO. That's 627-AERO. The battle is underway. Call 627-AERO.
Adam, one guy I want to watch on this power play is number 11, Pat Ferschweiler. He is not the most talented player. I mean, Cherbayev and Tansel have got more skills, but the guy works and works and works. More natural at center than he is playing the off wing tonight.
Pat Ferschweiler, Chris Tansel, Alexander Cherbayev with Hammond and Emmons at the point. So 4 forward alignment, but Emmons will play the left point. Here's Emmons now for Kansas City, and we're going to get another penalty. So the Aeros are going to be 2 men down. Here's a quick shot. Gamble save. Rebound jumped on. And the Aeros touch. And we're going to get, I think, a slashing minor. And the Aeros are going to be 2 men down with 46 seconds to go in the period. And this is not the way you want to start the period, the second period.
Well, you want to start it with momentum. You blew the opportunity to get on the scoreboard first during the first period, where they've historically been poor here at home, as Kevin Grant goes off.
Boy, Terry Ruskowski's got the glare on the bench. And Neil will talk with Clayton Young, who's coming back on as Grant now joins Kevin Deneen in the box for the Aeros. And now will be 2 men down, so the Aeros having to go to work here with 3 guys. They'll go Robinson, Valamont defensively, and I think that's Mark Freer who's out there as well. He's kind of screened for me by Robinson, but I think it's Freer. Firschweiler will stay out with Sherbayev and Chris Hansel. Claudio Scremin now comes out to play the point instead of Emmons with Kenny Hammond. Face off to the right of Troy Gamble. 46 seconds left in the period. Unless Kansas City scores, they will finish the period up 2 men. Big face-off here between Freer and Firschweiler wins it. Back to a left point. Claudio Scremin dances back, top of the slot. Here's Chris Hansel, waltzes in, shoots, blocked in front. I don't think that made it to Gamble. And Claudio Scremin now has to hustle back to his own zone. Scremin now, half a minute to go in the period. Scremin across the line. Claudio Scremin, right side. Scremin, base of the right circle, centered it out in front, just behind Firschweiler, and the Aeros shoot it down. Claudio Scremin kind of knocking his head around there, saying, oh, I needed to send that in a little earlier. Here's Hammond now. 17 seconds to go in the period. Across the line, Kenny Hammond barreling in behind that. Takes a big whack from both Valamont and Robinson. That's kind of like passing through turnstiles. Here's a centering pass. Sherbayev. It's knocked it free now. Sherbayev centered it. Oh, and that ricocheted just wide of the net. Robinson rolls it near side. Puck to the line, and the horn sounds ending this first period. And what a first period it was.
Excuse me, a terrific first period of play, Adam, as the Aeros go off right now. No score, but on that particular last rush, Adam, I thought that Hammond held the puck far too long and coming in. Never really gave his teammates a chance to blast one.
All right, scoreless hockey game. Good period of action here. And when we return, Barry Warner's got a chance. He'll chat with Scott Arniel right after this. Throw it. Now. Welcome back to Kemper Arena in Kansas City. Adam Gordon along with Barry Warner, a scoreless hockey game, and the Aeros. We kind of talked about it. Wasn't the most physical period, which is a little discouraging, I think, for Terry Ruskowski and the boys. But yet it was a scoreless hockey game. We'll see what happens going into the second.
Adam, one of the positives for the Aeros, they made only 1 turnover, and that didn't hurt them because Troy Gamble, who has not been spectacular, has just been very steady. But they have taken care of the puck in a far better fashion than the game that you and Russ did the other night on HSE.
You know, we talked a little bit about Mark Freer and Claudio Scremin not getting named to the All-Star team. We've kind of forgotten about the guy for the Aeros that has. Scott Arniel is standing by. And Scott, first of all, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
How does it feel getting named to 3rd straight All-Star game?
Well, it certainly is an honor. I mean, anytime you get recognized for something like that, it's a very nice feeling, and especially when it comes from the coaches from around the league. And certainly I'm honored, but certainly couldn't have got it done without my teammates, especially Mark Freer being one of the big part of it.
Scott, what's it like for you, though, when you're named to the elite team? I mean, from a personal standpoint of satisfaction.
Well, certainly, I mean, at age 32, I'm getting a little older, long in tooth there, but it's nice to know that I'm still contributing and still doing some things to help our team be successful. I've always said all along that when I stopped contributing, I didn't really want to be a part of the game anymore, and I think it'll be time to move on. And this is one indicator that certainly it's appreciative that the other people have noticed that I still can play well enough to be one of the better guys in the league. And still got a lot of hockey left in the year, and hopefully that I can make it a full season of consistent hockey.
You know, you look at that first period, a scoreless hockey game. What are your thoughts on that first period? How did you think your team played?
I thought we played a pretty good road game. I think we sat back. We wanted to make sure that we didn't make too many gambles, and we didn't want to make too many bad mistakes early on in the first period and give them too many opportunities. We did break down a couple times, but I think that all in all it was a pretty sound period. I mean, we've been struggling a little bit confidence-wise, and I think that it wasn't too bad of a period. We got a big test for us here with this 5-on-3. Get that out of the way, and hopefully that second period we can pick up our offense a little bit, get our power play going, and also get our forecheck going where we're putting a lot of heat on their team.
Scott, 2 questions for you. 1, the status of Steve Gosselin, and number 2, how does the power get back in the Aero power play?
Well, firstly with Steve, I think he's hurt his shoulder, and I don't understand that call. The referee said he hurt it. It wasn't because of the check. He hurt it when he fell on the ice. Well, it's kind of a silly statement to say because the only way he got down there was from the cross check, but that's at the discretion of the referee, and at this time he just missed that one. But when it comes to our power play, I think we're moving the puck real well, but we're not getting the shots on net, and I'm responsible for that. I got to start shooting from the side, and Kevin Deneen's got to start teeing them off. I mean, Oleg, we got to start making movement. We're doing a great job, like I say, moving the puck. We got to start getting the puck on net, creating creating some, making their goaltender make some saves. Right now, we're doing a good job of possession, but we're certainly not getting the scoring chances that we should be.
Yeah, you talk about the shots on goal, trying to get them on net. You know, you look back at the last contest against Larry Dick. What does it take to beat this guy? Is this one of those kind of goalies that if you don't beat him early enough, he's going to just get stronger as the game goes?
Certainly, that any goaltender, they can build their confidence by the more saves they make, and I think that we get to him early. You know, he's a goaltender that goes down a lot. We got to get this in our mind, and we got to get the puck up on him, any kind of rebounds, anytime you get in alone on him, get the puck over his shoulders, and you know, I think if we get to him, put the heat on him a little bit like we should be, and I mean, like we have been in the last few games where we put up 35, 40, 45 shots, I think we'll be all right. I think we just got to bear down a little bit, and everything else will take care of itself.
Thanks a lot, Scott. Best of luck to you in the rest of the game.
All right, Adam, Barry, thanks very much.
All right, thank you, Scott Arniel, who's been named to the All-Star team for the 3rd straight year. The only Houston Aero for Kansas City, Jan Shalhoub and Chris Tansel. We've seen all 3 of those guys tonight, and all 3 of them have played very well, but not well enough to dent the score. It's a scoreless hockey game. We're in the first period intermission from Kemper Arena. We'll have more from Kemper after this. Adam Gordon along with Barry Warner here in the first period intermission, scoreless hockey game. And you know, being from the Seattle area, I was kind of wondering when I came down to Houston what things are going to be like. All I ever saw were the movies or heard about cowboy boots, cowboy hats, and found out it's not all like that. But you know what? Who cares? We want to know what the Houston Aero players think about it, and we had a chance to ask them.
Myself, and I was expecting the oil derricks, coming in here, and I was surprised. I came down. He's at 45 from Dallas. I was pleasantly surprised because it's at all rolling hills with a lot of trees.
When I first came down, I wanted to see big Stetson hats and guys walking around the street with spurs on and cowboy boots and, you know, spitting on the side of the street. You know what I mean, y'all? But you know, it's a big city, and there's some areas like that, I guess. I don't know.
I knew that Houston was the 4th largest city in the U.S. and it's a cosmopolitan city. I grew up in Toronto. Houston's very similar to Toronto. So, I mean, I didn't expect to see any horses. I expected to see more cowboy boots. In fact, that's one of the first things I'm going to do is get myself a pair of boots.
Keep up to date with my geography, and I knew I was coming to a big place, and it's certainly overwhelming, that's for sure.
I kind of expected me more of a desert atmosphere. I kind of thought Texas was a little more country people kind of being around, you know, what you hear about, you know, cowboy hats and boots and stuff, but no, it's not like that at all. It's actually just like anywhere else pretty much in North America, except the people are a lot friendlier.
I had no idea. I've never been here before. I had no idea what to expect, and so far everything's worked out great.
Did you expect a scene like J.R. Ewing in Dallas or Cactus or what?
I'm a little more worldly than that, but maybe my kids thought that.
I expected a few more cowboys. I thought there'd be, you know, people just walking around the streets. I thought there'd be a few more cowboy hats and stuff like that, kind of like on the show, the old Dallas show, but it's not quite like that.
I expect to see people with cowboy hats and stuff like that, but you know, it's just like anywhere else. There's so many people that it's very diverse.
Oh yeah, they're always looking for the horses and the cows, especially the Texas Longhorns. You know, everybody hears about those, but they're very happy here, and they're learning their ye-alls and you-alls and all the Texan talk. They're picking up real quick, so it's a lot of fun.
Thank you very much, and obviously it's not all that kind of cowboyish, but it's been wonderful so far. And let's take a look at the scoring summary of that period, brought to you by Columbia Hospital. There you go. They're your goal getters. Shots on goal there. You can see it translating into saves, though. Troy Gamble 6 saves, Larry Dick 7 saves. So a good first period, and we'll have more from Kemper Arena after this.
Thank you. I'll go down there for second period, I think. I'll go down there with the new Graeme for the second period.
Oh, you are?
Yes. All right.
Did they know this?
Yeah, I've got it set up.
Welcome back, Kemper Arena. Adam Gordon along with Barry Warner, a scoreless hockey game. And, well, if you're looking for a lot of scoring highlights, none to show you. It's a scoreless hockey game, but I'll tell you what, both goaltenders look pretty sharp, stopping all shots that they faced. And we'll take a look at tonight's highlights, and they're sponsored by McDonald's. Here is one of those plays, Barry, where the Aeros just kind of get outworked in their own zone, and Campbell kind of has to come up big.
And Nazarov tries to skate around for the wraparound, and Robinson helped clear the puck there, but the puck stayed in the Kansas City end as Nazarov takes the pass, the wrist shot gets knocked away by Troy Gamble, who made some solid saves. And once again, Troy Gamble, I think this may have been on the shorthanded situation where they let a wrist shot go by, and Gamble very wisely grabs it with the glove hand. The defense tries to come out and support.
The common thing is, you look at it, the same guy was in there, J.F. Quintain, doing the job, coming up, trying to pick up rebound. But the Aeros also got their chances as well.
A nice fake there as they pass the puck along the board, and I think this is the situation where they, this will be the next play coming up, where Kevin Dineen tries crashing in for the rebound. The save there, Kevin Dineen comes in and just overskates it just a little bit, and a good job done there by Wortman. No penalty called there. Why? Because he didn't slash. The momentum helped bring Kevin down, but it's a game of inches. If he just goes in, a half a stride late, he may have put the puck by. That was the best scoring opportunity by Larry Dick.
So the Aeros and the Blades are scoreless, and we'll take a look at the first period stats brought to you by the original Pasta Company restaurant. And shots on goal 7-6 in favor of the Houston Aeros. Both teams with a couple of minors for 4 minutes. The Aeros are 0 of 2 on the power play. However, the big note right now is that there's a lot of time remaining on the two-man advantage for the Kansas City Blades to start the second period. That is really a crucial point to this hockey game, I think, for the Aeros. They have got to kill off this two-man disadvantage without letting any goals in. They don't want to get the Blades any momentum, because I'll tell you what, Larry Dick looks very sharp right now, and this game is starting to take the makeup of the same one we saw a week ago.
And if you don't score on Larry Dick, who has overcome the handicap of having only one eye to play goalie in the IHL, he just continues to get better and better and better. One key thing from a strategic standpoint, Glenn Hackborn is the fastest skater, the man who wears number 15 on his back, did not dress for tonight's game. He worked out after this morning's skate, had lunch, and went down for about an hour and rode the bike with Dr. Tom Sitter in the weight room at the hotel. But he is normally a guy with fresh legs that can get out, can do an excellent job. He won't be there. And that's going to be interesting from a strategic standpoint to see what Terry's going to do. One big positive, Adam, real quickly. I thought that Mike Yeo had an outstanding first period of play. He took a puck in the face the other day, is playing with a visor, and he continued to improve with each shift.
Yeah, you mentioned Mike Yeo. He said to Jerry Mines and Billy Brown about wearing the visor, he said, well, do we have any TV games coming up? Because all my friends up in Ontario are going to give me grief about wearing the old bubble there. And, well, he obviously got stuck wearing it. But I'll tell you what, Yo, you looked pretty good there in that period in the visor. Had nothing to do with it. So a good period for Mike Yo. For the Aeros, though, we talked a little bit about the power play as we showed 0 of 2 on the Pasta Company stats there. They've got to start taking advantage of it. The power play has started coming around a little bit in the game against the Denver Grizzlies, but tonight it just seems stagnant.
Well, I think it's a conservative situation. The Aeros are doing a good job in moving the puck, but maybe they're taking one extra pass that they don't need. I just assume them fire on goal. And again, someone else who's not playing, our between period guest between the second and third period, Graeme Townshend normally is camped out right in front of the crease, and he's so hard to move out. But quicker shots, that's the one key that I want to see off the power play.
Quicker shots mean quicker goals, which is what we need right now. Scoreless hockey game, and we'll bring you the second period next, right after this. Welcome back to Kemper Arena. Adam Gordon, Barry Warner. We're getting set for the start of the second period of action. Both teams should be returning to the ice shortly, but let's check out games around the IHL tonight. And you look at the Fort Wayne-Cincinnati score. Yeah, canceled because of bad weather in Cincinnati. That is about a 2.5-hour bus ride from Fort Wayne to Cincinnati. Roads were bad. They couldn't get in there. They will replay that Sunday afternoon. Other scores in the first period. Indianapolis and Denver scoreless. Denver on a 2-game winning streak. Other scores in the IHL tonight. Detroit in the first leading Cleveland by a score of 2-0. Also in the second period now, Phoenix and Kalamazoo are tied at 3. That game being played in Kalamazoo. Also first period, Milwaukee. They're leading San Diego by a score of 2-1. And in the first period, it's Minnesota 1, Las Vegas Thunder 0. The Minnesota Moose all of a sudden playing some better hockey. And I think it all started when they beat the Aeros in their building. So the IHL full slate tonight. And there's your scores as we get set. The teams returning to the ice. Troy Gamble to our left and Larry Dick to our right. And Troy Gamble, who came up with 6 saves in that period. And the Aeros trying to get a lead, something they just have not been able to play well with this year. And quite frankly, though, coming into the start of this period, as we look at Larry Dick, a guy that I don't think will get tested too much here in the first minute and a half, as the Aeros will be short-handed for, well, actually minute 3. The Aeros are short-handed for 2 men for a minute 3. Right now, I think that's the key point of this hockey game, because you don't want to get down, and we've talked about it all night, and the fact that Larry Dick just is a hot goalie, and he just stoned the Aeros back a week ago in the Summit, and right now he seems to be playing as well. He's a very solid goaltender, a stand-up goalie. He doesn't go down unless he has to.
Terry Ruskowski has been reading Pat Riley's book on the making of a championship team, but I don't think Riley's ever had a situation where he's had to go out on the court 5 against 3. You know, if you took Patrick Ewing and Charles Oakley and sat him down.
Well, and the thing is we look at the head coach Jim Wiley of the Kansas City Blades, but I don't think also that Terry Ruskowski has the luxury of a Magic Johnson or a Kareem Abdul-Jabbar to help his hockey club out here. Not that I think those two could help.
But it's interesting what a coach sometimes do for relaxation. Terry, in his spare time, does a tremendous amount of reading, reads the Bible. He said he's now on his 3rd time of reading, and for sports, he's trying to get into the heads of some of the great coaches, and picked up Pat Riley's book. Next time we come to Kansas City, Marty Schottenheimer is going to come over and come down to the pregame skate and go back to the hotel and talk some hockey with Roscoe.
Here is Mark Freer. Again, the Aeros down 2 men with Robinson and Valamont. And the Blades, they'll start on the power play. Just underway the second period. Glad to have you with us tonight. Here's Ken Hodge across the line. He'll shoot the puck in Aero territory. Back is Robinson. The Aeros, again, need to get it out of there to kill off this 2-man disadvantage. Robinson. He'll play the puck along the left side. Scremin knocked it away. Scremin fighting for the loose puck. Centered. Shalhoub wide shoots. Rid the wrist shot wide. The rebound. Oh, and I'll tell you what, the Blades had a chance for JF Contain, but he couldn't put it in behind Gamble. Bouchon back Scremin. Worked it down. JF Contain, base of the right circle. Had it jammed away by Carl Valamont. Here's a centering pass down low. The shot kicked by Gamble. Rebound. Scremin shoots. And he hammered a bullet just wide of the net. And Freer will shoot it down. 20 seconds remaining in the 2-man disadvantage. Half a minute remaining in the power play tandem.
Excellent plays by the tandem of Valamont and Robinson.
Here come the Kansas City Blades. Bouchon at center ice. Gives to Jan Shalhoub. Quick pass. Scremin across the line. Scremin pulls up. Looks back. Gives to Shalhoub. Looking along the boards. Jan Shalhoub to the line. Bouchon winds. Fakes the shot. Now Scremin working right to that goal with a shot. And Gamble was pounded by Contain. And how in the world does play go on? But it does. And now the Aeros have killed off the 2-man advantage. Now back in Kansas City territory. Here is Andre Bouchon for the Kansas City Blades. He'll move the puck from right to left. Teams at 5 aside. So the Aeros get the job done, killing off the 2-man power play. Here's the puck at center ice. Doty Wood for Kansas City. Had it skip over Murray Evestick, so he got it back. Wood across the line with Grillo and Ferschweiler. Back is Shargorodsky for Houston now. Oleg, quick pass. Eves can't find the handle. Blades hold it in. Pushed it back in the near corner. Jakes jumps on it for the Aeros. Trying to muscle it out of the zone. He's run into by Doty Wood. Back into Aero territory now. Here is Troy Gamble. He'll quickly turn the puck over now to Kevin Dineen. Pretty safe guy to give it to. Dineen at center ice. Gallops a pass to the left side. Shargorodsky across the line for Tippett. Moving in. Centered it. And that was rejected by Larry Dick. Here's Eves with a weak shot. Down is Larry Dick to make the save. And now Wood and Dineen getting into it. That'd be an interesting bout. Dineen and Wood getting sticks high. Doty Wood would love to get Kevin Dineen off the ice as they get locked up in there with some pushing and shoving. All to the right of Larry Dick. Linesmen separated with 2 minutes gone in the first period and a scoreless hockey game.
Wood, one of the real tough guys in the IHL, came out with the express purpose of trying to get Steve Jakes riled up. They had a fight here right after Thanksgiving that was a very tough battle for Steve Jakes. I think it cut up his nose a little bit and drew some blood, and he was doubtful for the game, but as soon as he got onto the ice, he started jabbing him. And Kevin Dineen, who has been reluctant to fight, guys have been running him all the time because he's an NHL player, almost got into it there. He just simply goes in front of the cage, looking for a rebound, looking for a puck to scoot low, to scoot out between the pad of Larry Dick, and Doty Wood took exception to that.
Face off in the circle to the right side of Larry Dick. Young, Pellerin, Yo with Kevin Grant and Carl Valamont. Gary Emmons trying to win the draw, can't do it. Aeros have got it. Here's Carl Valamont, left point, getting set. Long shot right on Dick down to make the save. Here is Sikora now. Chip the puck ahead, and here come the Blades at center. Yo, all locked up with Emmons. Aeros turn it around, and now Pellerin in after it, but Larry Dick out of the net to flip it away to Tansel, and he'll reject it to center ice. No score still in the hockey game. 2.5 gone in the second period. And here come the Blades. 2-on-2. Tansel with Emmons. Tansel quick wrist shot glove by Gamble. And then Tansel comes in there, and Gamble will cover up and hold on with 17:28 to play. Here in this first period, it's Kansas City nothing, Houston nothing.
Puck came loose there as Yo was jammed along the boards. Carl Valamont's trying to force the shooter wide as Gamble comes up with a glove save. But very interesting there, just from a technical standpoint. You always want to try to get that shooter as far away and cut the angle down for the goaltender.
Face off in the circle to the left side of Troy Gamble. That's a nice play by Valamont, forcing Tansel wide and giving him not much to shoot at. Gamble saw it the whole way with a glove save. Here is Mike Yo now. He'll clear the puck at center and back into Kansas City territory. Add Sikora on his horse back to right into town, pick up the puck behind his net. 17:18 to go. Here are the second period. The only reason I said first, they haven't changed the clock. They still got it first period. Threw me off a bit there. We're in the second. Trust me. No score of the hockey game. Here's Kevin Grant now. Forecheck by Cherbayev. Now the puck along the near side, and Gary Emmons trying to jam it down Tansel for Cherbayev. Ace left circle, center the pass. Here's the shot. Gamble, great save. Rebound. Oh, and it's cleared by Kevin Grant. Troy Gamble coming up big with a left pad save, and it's knocked back at center ice. Stop of the night for Gamble. Here's the puck at center. Emmons to Sikora. Here's Kenny Hammond. He takes a bump from Yo. I'll tell you what, Mike Yo has been the most physical player for the Aeros thus far tonight, as the Aeros have too many men on the ice. I don't know how many you're going to let out there, but play goes on. They had about 6 or 7 guys out there. Right in front of their bench was the puck. Now at center. It's picked up by the Aeros. Here is Rob Robinson. Lead pass into Kansas City territory. Freer tried to work it in there. He's checked by Hammond, and a penalty coming up. Mark Freer made a nifty little play going in after that. He was able to redirect the puck with his skate and Larry Dick down to make the save. Let's take time out. Penalty coming up to the Kansas City Blades. More IHL action from Kemper after this.
Flying to Dallas for business? If these 35 reasons don't convince you to fly Southwest Airlines to Dallas, maybe this will. With the most flights at the lowest unrestricted fares, it's no wonder that Southwest is the low-fare airline.
Can you hear it? It's the 16th annual Toyota-thon. Time to celebrate the best all-star lineup of new Toyotas ever. Like the new flagship, Avalon, starting at only $22,758. Or the new Toyota T100 Extra Cab. Big room, big power. Check out the all-new Tercel, starting under $10,000. And here comes the redesigned Celica Convertible. So hurry to your Toyota dealer now during the 16th annual Toyota-thon. New year, new cars, great deals.
No score in the hockey game, but the Aeros, oh boy, Troy Gamble having to come up very big on a Gary Emmons shot.
Well, the importance of winning the battle in the corners is Gary Emmons just takes the backhand pass and lets the wrister go, and a great job there by Troy Gamble with the initial save, and then while he's lying backwards, making sure the puck does not cross over.
Yeah, Kevin Grant made a nice play to work it free, and now we're going to get a penalty. The Aeros had a power play, but I think that's going to be short-lived here. And somebody going to the box for Houston. Scott Arniel not happy, but I think it's going to be Oleg Shargorodsky. So kiss this power play goodbye, and now we'll go 4-on-4 hockey, as that took a mere 10 seconds. Face off center ice, so it'll be Freer and Arniel now, with a defensive tandem of Valamont. And now leaping over the boards is Kevin Grant. And again, let's reiterate the fact that Steve Goslin, I don't know if he's going to return or not tonight.
Steve Goslin got hurt, and the team captain, Curtis Hunt, who's been plagued by bad back, may be flying back to Houston tomorrow rather than going to Milwaukee with us. And it will not surprise me at all if the medical staff has a conference and they operate on his back so he can get back in action healthy.
I think that's a wise point there, Barry. There's a puck now back down the ice. This is icing as the Aeros get back to it. Kevin Grant to get it. And they'll bring the faceoff back into Kansas City territory. I don't know how long that would put Curtis Hunt out, but I think at this point you got to get him back into the lineup.
Well, the scope surgery that they have right now helps facilitate that.
Tonight at 10:30, a love triangle leads to murder, and the Sparta Police must track down a mad bomber, catching exciting in the heat of the night. Tonight at 10:30, it's right here on Paramount 20.
And one thing that we can't stress enough, the importance of having that C on your sweater. Curtis Hunt, the captain of this team, and a big tough guy back there on the blue line. Now Mark Freer wears that C.
Here's Claudio Scremin now for Kansas City. Meanders a pass at center for Hodge. He'll shoot it into Aero territory. Skips to Gamble behind the net, and he'll turn, wait, still waiting. Is he a forward? Now gives it to Scott Arniel. There you go. Here comes Arniel now from left to right. Sometimes makes you a little nervous when he holds that puck. Here's Arniel left side. Brings the puck in. He's wrapped up by Scremin. Still fighting for it, but Hodge back to retrieve. And now another penalty. And this one's going to be to Houston as Arniel comes in to work it away. And the Aeros now are going to be shorthanded. So let's set this up for you. There's a minute 3 left in the Kenny Hammond minor. A minute 13 to Shargaronsky, and now Arniel is going to go off for high sticking. So it's 4-on-3 for Kansas City. Then in a minute 3, it'll be 5-on-3 for just 10 seconds. And then it'll be 5-on-4 for a short time thereafter. As Scott Arniel in the box, and here's why it happened, is he was in a pretty good battle with Claudio Scremin down, and then he comes back, and still haven't seen the penalty. Maybe it's coming up here anytime. Penalty's already been called. This must have been way behind the play, but
Adam, the only thing I could think is when he came back off the ground, maybe the blade of his stick was up, and it didn't look like he hit Claudio in the face.
Oh, well. Now the Aeros down a man. 4-on-3 attack now for Kansas City. It's center ice. Kevin Workman now. Left side across the line through Jakes. Out of the net Gamble. He'll slow for the first one back. Robinson had a little trouble with a puck trying to feed Jakes. Can't get it to him. Now down base of the left circle. Tansel back to the line. Workman winds. Shoots. Ooh, deflected by Jakes with the skate. And Gamble has to make the save. It's bad enough when you're trying to stop the guys in white. It's even worse when you got to stop your own green guys.
And that is the absolute worst feeling in the world for a defenseman when you're out there trying to block the puck and all of a sudden it hits and it just rises up above you. The Aeros can ill afford to give up a cheapie like that. Jake's just right off the blade of his skate and it rides up the body, and boy, you think that trying to hit a knuckleball is tough for you. In baseball, this is brutal.
You know, we get another chance to look at it. You can see the puck was on edge, and that's why Jakes had trouble with it. Maybe that's why it went off his skate at a weird angle. It's Kevin Workman jammed the puck down again. Kansas City on the power play. Workman drive, right pad save made by Gamble. And now Dineen skates to center. Kevin Dineen down the right side trying to pump it into Kansas City territory. Rejected by Rafji at his blue line. And here come the Blades right to left. Kevin Workman hands the pass to Cherbayev. Moving down the left side. Swept away by Jakes. Cherbayev in the corner battling with Jakes. Puck to the line. Picked up by Workman. Here's Rafji now top of the left circle. Jammed it back down. Here is a centering pass back. Rafji shoots. Scores! Mike Rafji. Power play goal. It's a 1-0 hockey game.
Classic moving of the puck. And Rafji, the big kid, the 6'6" high draft choice of the Sharks, who had been out for the early part of the season, just lets it fly. He was a #1 pick, the 3rd player overall in the draft, 6'6", 235, and he just gets the puck and one-times it with a heavy shot of his, the nice pass from Tansel, and just lets it blast by Troy Gamble.
So the Aeros now trail 1-0. And for Mike Rafji, the goal first of the year. And now the Aeros trail by a score of 1-0. And we said the first goal of this hockey game was huge, and Kansas City comes up with the first goal of the hockey game, and they are a tremendous club when they score first. Here's the puck now at center. We're at 4-on-4. Let's not, or 5-on-3 rather. 5-on-4 rather. We're going to see a power play though for 50 seconds. So Kansas City on the power play 5-on-4. And here's Jan Shalhoub at center through the neutral zone. He'll hit the line. Shalhoub pulls up, rolls it back for Workman, takes a whack from Chitteroni, cycled the puck down low. Firstweiler trying to loop it along for Jan Shalhoub. Base of the left circle. Shalhoub to the line. The drive by Sikora. Deflected just wide of the net by Firstweiler. Here come the Houston Aeros now. At center, Chitteroni jammed it back into Kansas City territory. Larry Dick out of the net. He'll flip it near side, but not out. Kevin Grant held it in. Grant, long shot deflected in the slot. And the Blades will come at center ice now. Here is Workman across the line. Dropped it back. Firstweiler right in the drive. And that was from Shalhoub, and he got a little too much loft under it, and it's back in the near side. Sikora worked it back over to the far boards. A long shot from Workman is blocked, and the Aeros jump on it. They're shorthanded. No, penalty now over to Arniel. And teams at 5 aside. Larry Dick comes out of the net. He'll have it chopped away by Arniel, but he was able to muscle it over to Mike Maurice. He centered it. Here's the chance. Robinson shoots right on Dick, the save. Puck in front. Aeros trying to bang away at it. Here's Arniel fighting for the loose puck. He and Sikora go at it. Maurice has got it. Base of the right circle. Back to the line. Robinson. Aeros trail 1-0. Puck in the corner though. Sikora's got it for Kansas City. Trying to move it along. It's pinched by Robinson. And the Blades turn. Sikora, can he clear it? No. Secondly, it's fished by Nazarov and out to center. So there's 12:51 left in the second period. Kansas City leads it by a score. 1-0. Mike Rathje, first goal of the year. Here's Rob Robinson now back in his own zone. He'll turn and pull up on the forecheck of Nazarov, and now he'll have to drift back behind the net. Here is Rob Robinson for the Houston Aeros. He'll carry the puck out to the left side. And now it is Oleg Shagorodsky. Booms one in there. It'll bounce right out in front. Bouchon trying to clear. Clayton Young has got it. Now in there is Claudio Scremin, shouldered by Young. And now it is picked up by J.F. Contain and muscled out at center. It will bounce into Aero territory. Shagorodsky's got to hustle back. Oleg Shagorodsky now behind the net. He'll start the rush from left to right. Oleg now. Pass. Comes out to the left side. And Valamont can't find the handle. And the Blades now go back for it. Contain. A pass for Ken Hodge. Now Nazarov. Long shot right on. Gamble the glove save. He'll hold on with 8 minutes gone in the second period. A 1-0 hockey, and Kansas City leads it more from Kemper after this.
A new generation. A new mission. A new destiny. Prepare for the ultimate journey into an uncharted wilderness known only as the Great Unknown. Prepare for Star Trek Voyager.
Premieres January 16th on Paramount 20.
Before you try an ice brewed beer, give me an ice. Remember, all ice beers start cold, but most are heat pasteurized. Not cool. So get real cold. Bud Ice. Bud Ice. It's ice brewed and cold filtered to start cold and stay cold.
Give me an ice.
Ask for icy smooth Bud Ice. New 96-calorie Bud Ice Light.
11:57 to play in the second period. Kansas City 1-0, and the Aeros. Troy Gamble makes a nice stop on Andrei Nazarov.
Well, they just drop the puck, and Nazarov just lets the big boomer. He fakes the big boomer and lets the wrist shot go, and that quick left glove hand of Troy Gamble keeps it from being a 2-0 game.
Here's Rob Robinson now again behind the net. Aeros trail by a score of 1-0, and Kansas City now trying to knock it away. They're in their neutral zone trap a little bit here, and they've done a fine job as it comes right out in front, and Scremin trying to come in there. Now Emmons centered it, but it's picked up by Arniel. The Aeros off to the races as Chitteroni jumped on. I think he caught a high stick, but play going right on. Yelling at the referee, Luke Galvin, but Galvin says play on. Now the puck in Kansas City territory. Cherbayev rolls one ahead, center ice. Kenny Hammond looking for Tansel. Goes back at Aero territory, and Steve Jakes comes away. Long pass at center for Mario Chitteroni, and Chitteroni will turn and flip it all the way back into Kansas City territory. And right now the Aeros offense really struggling here. They haven't tested Larry Dick at all in this period. Here's the puck in Kansas City territory. Cherbayev rolls it back down the ice, and back will go Steve Jakes. And this will be an icing call with 10:58 to go in the second. 1-0 in favor of Kansas City.
Chitteroni's still chirping to the referee. He feels that a penalty should be called. He definitely got a stick and a slash. The slash knocked the glove off his hand, as it also caught part of his face. Mario Chitteroni goes off right now, and Murray Eves will take the face off.
The Aeros' next home game will be Thursday against the Minnesota Moose, and game time is at 7 o'clock. And of course, I know you're sitting there saying, how can I get tickets? Well, give any Ticketmaster outlet a call. Stop by the Summit box office or the Aerodrome. Of course, if you have any ticket questions, give the Aeros a call. 627-AERO. We're back to action. Here's Kevin Graham moving right in with a shot block. Jam away at the puck, and Larry Dick scrambling for it, and he'll hold on with 10:51 left in the second period. 1-0 Blades.
And it doesn't show up on the scoreboard because the Aeros are down 1-0. But one thing the Aeros have done during the course of this game, they've won faceoffs in the Kansas City zone. A couple of times Clayton Young has done it from there. Murray Eves just did a terrific job on the draw.
Face off to the left of Larry Dick, as you saw a moment ago. Shots even at 12 apiece. Eaves, Dineen, and Tippett with Grant and Valamont. Top of the puck, and the Blades have got it. Swing it back behind the cage for Claudio Scremin. And the Blades will move it from right to left here. It is Scremin waiting as the Aeros set up in their trap, and finally it's back into Aero territory. Here is Carl Valamont hustling back. He's bumped by JF Contain. Kevin Grant has got it. He takes a bump from Nazarov. Now Murray Eaves pushed it ahead, but not out. Bouchon a drive, swept out of there by Valamont for Houston. Kansas City has it back to the line. Scremin wide, shoots, deflected out of there by Gamble, and the puck picked up by Kevin Dineen. Dineen a pass at center for Tippett. Hits the line with Eaves. Nice move, Tippett, but he can't quite get through the check of Claudio Scremin. Now it's along the boards for Kevin Dineen, trying to muscle in there. Here's Dave Tippett in the circle. Tippett jammed it down. Here's the chance. The shot. Great left pad save by Larry Dick. Stoning Kevin Dineen. Oh, what a stop by Larry Dick. Save of the night for Larry. Now it's center ice. Here is Kevin Grant at his own blue line. He'll turn and whip it out at center for Murray Eaves. Popped it ahead for Tippett across the line. Dave Tippett now for Brian Pellerin. Pellerin trying to kick it out in front, but Bouchon's got him tied up in the corner. They go at it, skate to skate, fished out of there by Clayton Young. This has been the more of the harder working line for the Aeros. Mike Yeo down the left side, trying to work away from Ken Hodge. Yeo still the puck, back to the line. Jakes turns now, lets the shot go. Oh, and that just scooted wide. Larry Dick went down on it, but just went wide. Now the puck in the far corner for Brian Pellerin at the hash marks. Give it to Shargorodsky, overskated it. Here come the Blades. Shalhoub hits the line, and it's popped away by Jakes. Nice play there by Steve Jakes, and the Aeros clear the zone. 9:13 left in the second period. Kansas City 1, Houston nothing. Puck shot into Aero territory. Ferschweiler after it. He'll play the puck. That is a two-line pass, and the faceoff comes back into Kansas City territory with 9:06 to play here in the second period. We'll take timeout. Our score, it's Kansas City 1, Houston nothing. More IHL action from Kemper after this.
Happy holidays and a bountiful new year.
Carrie Novak won't waste a minute battling her cold. Pills take time to dissolve, so she'll rush relief with the effervescent power of Alka-Seltzer Plus cold medicine. It's ready the moment you take it, rushing powerful medicines to soothe your aches, relieve your runny nose, free your breathing.
Okay, now, today I'd like to talk to you about adding color and texture.
Nothing rushes relief like Alka-Seltzer Plus.
Kansas City leading by a score of 1-0, Barry, but almost tied it here on a nice play by Kevin Dineen.
Well, the tricks of the trade, he keeps the puck going with his footwork, and once again gets a nice blast on Dick, who uses the left pad to come up with the save.
Down to left point, Shargorodsky, as we're back to action in Kansas City territory. Michael Sikora for the Blades takes a bump along the boards. Now it's worked to the line. Here's Jake's a high shot. Oh, Larry Dick having trouble with it, and he'll hold on. Well, the Aeros got a little physical for Mario Chitteroni, but I'll tell you what, I've seen more hits in Las Vegas with people having 20 than I've seen the Aeros hits tonight.
Now, they have not been as physical as you would like. The slapper gets high on Dick and bounces around. Very unsure. That's the first time we've seen him tonight. Really unsure.
You know, the Aeros have concentrated pretty well on defense tonight. They haven't made a lot of mistakes. Sure, they trail 1-0, but it was a power play goal. But the point needs to be made that if you play defense and concentrate on defense, the goals will come. Now the Aeros can, try to bear down. Now they have to try and bear down and try and tie this game as they trail 1-0, 8:47 left in the second.
The last three line changes have been more up-tempo for the Aeros.
Puck is in Kansas City territory. Yo at the hash marks. Quick shot. Kicked down to there by Larry Dick. Here's Clayton Young now at the hash marks. Moving in. Had it popped off, and now the Blades off at center. Here is Jan Shalhoub looking for Ferschweiler. He's bumped along there by Kevin Grant. Now Robinson hustles back on the right side. Robinson pass at center ice for Clayton Young. He'll barrel into the Kansas City zone. Chipped it into the far corner. In after it. Kevin Wortman lugs it behind that. Gave it away to Pellerin. Base of the right circle. Pellerin, though, trying to move it along. Now it is Yo Pinchy. He runs into Grillo, and Dean Grillo is the son of Chuck Grillo, who's the director of player personnel for the San Jose Sharks. And He'll get it out at center ice. Pat Ferschweiler, left side, pulled up at the hash marks. Ferschweiler sends it back to Cora. One-time blast. That just meandered wide of the net. Now Kenny Hammond winds, shoots right on that. Hit somebody. A rebound shot. And Gamble down to make the save. Oh, that whole area kind of parted like the Red Sea, and there was Kenny Hammond, who thought he was Moses all of a sudden, walking right in there to put the shot on Troy Gamble with 7:55 to go in the second. 1-0 Kansas City.
Looked like the first blast of the point hit Ferschweiler as they let the second one go by. Ferschweiler was down right on top of the play, and you can see how the left and the right pad have got to work in tandem. When he goes on one leg down, he gets up on the other. Folks, it's hard enough to try just in sneakers and in a pair of gym shorts. So much harder when you're on the ice and you've got those 20 pounds. I mean, the reflexes of Troy Gamble are terrific.
Off the face-off now. Aeros have the puck. It's a 1-0 Kansas City lead. Here's Shagarodski. Pass at center ice for Tippett. Jammed one for Eves. Falling is Ratchie, and the Aeros quickly turn it around. Kevin Dineen across the line. Wide shoots. Right on. Blocker saved by Larry Dick. And he'll tuck that away to rest and hold on with 7:39 to go. Here in the second period, it's a 1-0 hockey game. Kansas City leads it.
Adam, we've seen about 5 firm shots on Larry Dick. We've seen Jakes with a slap shot that went high. We saw Kevin Dineen twice, Tippett, and Clayton Young. So the scoring opportunities are getting a little bit more up-tempo for the Aeros. Now it's a question of getting them by Larry Dick.
Kevin Dineen has had a couple of scoring opportunities, as you say, on his last couple of shifts here as he gets a good shot away. Now back to action. Valem on a shot, just drifts wide of the net to the far side. Chris Tansel met by Eves, taken away. Here's Tippett with a shot. That'll go up and out of play, but I'll tell you what, it's that play right there that I think Terry Ruskowski has been looking for. He wants the first man in there to go after the puck. If he can't get there, take the body, throw the body. And in that case, it was turned over as Eves was able to get it to Tippett for the shot, although it wasn't on goal and deflected. That's the kind of play the Aeros have been looking for, but they still trail 1-0.
And we always see a direct correlation. When you throw the body, good things happen. Pucks come loose. You control more. And that's what the Aeros have to do, as we see in the corner going in there, Murray Eves.
Here's a face-off top of the fire circle. And it's Kenny Hammond. Hammond drifting back in behind his net. He'll start the rush from right to left. Hammond pass out to the right side for Gary Emmons. Here come the Blades now at center. Emmons trying to move it ahead, but Valamont rejects that. Pops it in. Here's a 3-on-1. Aeros moving in. Dineen had it swept away by Hammond. So another chance goes awry, and the Aeros had a 3-on-1 break and come up with nothing. Here come the Blades now the other way. Across the line is Tansel moving in with a centering pass, and Hammond couldn't get a stick on it. Rathje pinching down the left side, trying to get it down for Tansel. Aeros trail 1-0. Emmons left side, a drive and a right pad save, kicked out of there by Gamble. Here's Emmons again, a shot, rebound, hit that post, Cherbayev. Oh, and we're going to get a fight between Mike Maurice and Mike Rathje. They're going to pound at center. Rathje about 4 inches taller, big uppercut on Maurice, but Maurice fires back with a right hand. Perhaps this is what is going to get the Aeros fired up. Maurice, he gives away some inches, but he's probably the strongest Aero on this hockey club. Now going at it along the boards, and the linesmen finally say, I've had enough of this, and they'll break this up. This was way behind the play, but going back a moment ago, Alexander Cherbayev, I guess in Russia they don't give you a 1-a-day plus iron, because all he did was that iron deficiency shot off the post, and this could very easily be a 2-0 hockey game.
He will not qualify for the Steelworkers Union there, as we see Mike Maurice going into the penalty box. You talk about him being the strongest man as far as the upper part of the body. He works out with the strength coach, Jerome Logan. You talk about a guy who could bench press the aerodrome. It is Mike Maurice. I mean, he has got a sculpted upper torso. Incredibly strong player.
So does Mike Rathje, though, as we take a look at how this hockey game could have very easily been 2-0. The Aeros got caught here. Emmons again with a shot, and then Cherbayev, blink, right off the post, and the Aeros got very, very lucky. So now 5-minute majors to both Maurice and Rathje. That's not a bad trade, though. You get Rathje out of there, and then, you know, Maurice is just a spare forward, so the D becomes thin for 5 minutes.
You get the number one score, the guy who's got the goal in this 1-0 game off, and you get, as you said, the spare forward tonight for the Aeros. The Aeros again playing with 4 defensemen. Kevin Hunt, I should say Curtis Hunt, back in the hotel room because of his bad back. Steve Goslin injured his hand, went off early in the game. Kevin Grant playing with a bad shoulder. He's got to go into the boards, and he's got to use his left shoulder
rather than the right. Carl Valamont, bad left leg. Steve Jakes has been injured for a good portion of the year. But you know what? They are professionals with a capital P. They know they got to suit up, put the sweater on, and go out and play.
Here's a puck now at the blue line, held in. Nazarov, nice play with his shot on the right side from J.F. Contain, and a stick save from Troy Gamble. Puck along the boards. Here's Contain, back to the line. Bouchon lets the shot go, deflected as Nazarov tried to redirect one in there.
Freer did a good job riding him off the puck.
Now back at center ice. Bouchon has to go back for it. 6:22 to go here in the second. Kansas City leading this hockey game by a score of 1-0. Here comes Ken Hodge now with Nazarov. He takes a center ice check from Mario Chitteroni. Now the Blades moving in. Contain, dropped it back. Hodge to Nazarov. Centered it back for Hodge. And the Aeros come away. And a 3-on-1 is scrum and foul. Now Kevin Grant on a breakaway. Waits, turns, shoots. Great save by Larry Dick. Oh my! It can't get any worse for the Houston Aeros. You get a 3-on-nobody, and the guy carrying the puck is a defenseman with a bad shoulder in Kevin Grant.
The good news is they steal the puck. It's a 3-on-1. The bad news, the last guy that you want to shoot the puck because of his physical problems gets the cross-ice pass for Mark Freer, but it is so difficult. The puck just a little in front of him. He tries to go to the short side. Then he tried to go for the 5-hole between the legs, and Larry Dick comes up big.
I thought he made a pretty nice move as he goes quickly.
Move.
And he tried to go 5-hole, which is between the legs, and Larry Dick had none of that. And he makes perhaps what could be, I'll tell you what, if it stays like this, that's going to be maybe, that's a candidate for your Southwest Airlines play of the game right there. Puck is back in Kansas City territory. That is cleared by the Blades for Dean Grillo, but the Aeros are back. Here's Valamont at his own blue line. And back is Shalhoub, can't come up with it, and Valamont able to clear it. And back into Kansas City territory. Did somebody just throw a kitchen sink at Larry Dick? I think he stopped that too. Now the puck along the near side. Cherbayev out at center. It's Valamont to Steve Jakes. That might be what it takes. Here's Jakes now having a little trouble. And out at center ice, here's Clayton Young galloping into Kansas City territory. Here's Young across the line, barreling in on goal. Center the pass, and it's jammed away. And it's Jan Shalhoub, 2-on-1. Valamont hustling back, and a good defensive poke check by Kevin Grant. Blade still with it. Cherbayev, right side. Alexander Cherbayev behind the net, pulls up, waits, centered it. It was tipped away. Grillo came smoking in there, but couldn't get the shot away. And now Pellerin late in the shift, laboring up ice. He'll shoot it into Kansas City territory. Under 5 minutes to go in the second period. 1-0 hockey game. Kansas City on top. Here's Sikora now. He takes a hit from Kevin Grant. And now the Aeros are back. Shargorodsky for Kevin Dineen, trying to move it through Sikora. Puck goes into the Blade territory. First one there is Kevin Workman, but he's tied up by Tippett. Now Dineen working hard behind the net. He's muscled off by Sikora, who will shoot that down the ice. They will call this icing, and the face-off will be brought back as soon as Shargorodsky touches it. It'll go back into Kansas City territory. Let's take time out. 4:33 to play here in the second period. It's the Blades 1, Aeros nothing. More from Kemper Arena after this.
The hula dance. Yeah, I know. The tourists love it. But to locals, every movement tells a story. I'll translate. Small town kid comes to Little Island and gets into big trouble. It's the story of my life. So what happens next?
Richard, read my hips.
Can you say that on network television?
Richard Grieco stars in Marker on UPN.
Premieres January 17th on Paramount 20.
Where do you go when you want to have fun?
I'm out on the course every chance I get.
I play soccer
and Little League and basketball and football.
I go fishing with my grandson.
But first, we go to Oshman Super Sports.
Where I can try all the newest clubs right here in the store.
This store is bigger than Lake Travis.
One store has all the fun. Oshman Super Sports.
1-0 Kansas City. And is this hockey or is it hooky? Right there. Good play by Valamont. If they don't call it, it is a good play, right?
That's beauty in the eye of the beholder. What you don't get called, never happened.
Here's Shargorodsky right back with a drive. Deflected in front, I think, by Arniel. And if nothing else, he at least screened Larry Dick. But I don't think it matters for him. He's just going to stop it. You know what's funny, Barry?
I'm Barry, that's Larry.
Thank you. Well, are you Curly or Mo?
Well, I'm
I know, 91-year-old birth certificate. Well, let's forget about that. Anyway, yes, you were. But I wanted to mention that the Aeros only have one goal against Larry Dick, and if you remember back in the Summit, it was that weird hop off the glass where Larry went to play the puck, and Mario Chitteroni threw it into an open net, barely, as a matter of fact. So the Aeros need to solve the enigma with a name, Larry Dick. Puck picked up by Kansas City, shot out to center ice. And it's back into Blade territory where Larry Dick will stop it. Back for Claudio Scremin. Scremin now worked on by Freer. Does a nice job to shake the check. Now, why this guy's not in the All-Star game, I'll never know. But here's Scremin now. But, of course, the guy he shook off, I wonder why he's not in the All-Star game either, Mark Freer. Oh, well, what do I know? Here's Chitteroni now, trying to work it ahead, and he'll bank it out at center ice. It'll go back into Blade territory, and hustling back now is Scremin. Forecheck by Chitteroni. Scremin waits, turns one up, and here comes Chris Tansel now. Tansel pulls up, watched by Tippett, makes the move around him. Tippett staying with him stride for stride. Tansel still with the puck, and it's flipped ahead, and now it is Scremin. Now here's a puck that comes at center for Kenny Hammond. Eves trying to work it away. Hammond brings it in. Here's a penalty coming up, and Gamble down to make the save. And I don't know who this is going to be on. We're going to get a slashing minor, and we'll wait to see who this is on. Well, Brian Pellerin, or make that Kevin Dineen rather, that's a little upset right now. And he'll go to the box, and the Aeros trailing 1-0 with only 3:24 left in the second period. Will now be down a man, as coming in is Kevin Dineen. Shots on goal right now, 20-16 in favor of the Aeros, but here's why it happened as Kevin Dineen gets in there a little too hard with a stick.
Yeah, it just rips the arm off, basically, of the stick by number 4, Hammond.
Face off in the circle to the right side of Troy Gamble. Hodge Nazaroff along with J.F. Contain. Here's Claudio Scremin defensively with Bouchon. Scremin rolled it down Hodge. Back to the line for Scremin. Top of the slot, getting set, danced it back. Hodge in the circle, winds it over. Ooh, that was ricocheted off a skate of Kevin Grant. Bouchon holds right point. Get it down, J.F. Contain. Back to the line for Bouchon to Contain. Back to the line for Bouchon. Now here is Contain again in the circle, waiting. Now jammed it down. Here's a centering pass, and Scremin, who came pinching down the backside, and he couldn't get the shot away. Bouchon, top of the slot, rolled it back along the boards. Back after it, Robinson trying to deflect it away, but Ken Hodge, base of the right circle, he's got it for Kansas City. Now at the hash marks, getting sent. The Aeros trying to keep it out in front as it was blocked in there, and falling on it is one of the Aeros, that Grant, who's on top of it. It is with 2:46 left in the second. 1-0 Kansas City, a minute 22 remaining in the Kevin Dineen minor.
Chitteroni and the assistant coach Dave Tippett doing an outstanding job there, up high, of really harassing Kansas City and making them take a longer time of holding the puck. They didn't get as many passes off there, and the result, they only got one shot.
Face off in the circle to the left side of Troy Gamble. Emmons, Tansel, Cherbayev with Kevin Wortman and Michael Sikora. Drop of the puck. Aeros win the draw. Here is Oleg Shargorodsky now trying to muscle it through Cherbayev. Now in the corner, they continue to grind it out there. There's skate to skate in there, fished in there by one of the Blades. I think that was Tansel, and finally play whistled down. Chris Tansel, we talked about earlier, will be going to the All-Star game along with Jan Shalhoub. The Aeros with just the one representative, and Mr. Scott Arniel, I guess you can call him Mr. now, with 3 straight All-Star appearances. And a face-off in the circle to the right side of Troy Gamble. Here's Clayton Young to take the draw against Gary Emmons. Sticks down, they joust for the puck, and Emmons wins the draw. Here is Tansel, back to the line. Workman waits, works it back. Tansel winds, shoots right on. Gamble, I think, got a shoulder on that one. Now the puck picked up along the right wing boards for Alexander Cherbayev for Kansas City. Cross-ice pass for Workman. Jammed it for Tansel. Valamon in there, wreaking havoc, knocked him to the pond. Now it is Emmons along the left circle. Emmons winding it, get it down. Tansel right in on goal. He's bumped, loose puck in front. Aeros are able to clear it down the ice. Oh, it was close as the puck was just kind of sitting there saying, somebody shoot me, somebody shoot me. The Aeros said, fine, down the ice it goes. Here is Workman now for Kansas City, right side, shoots it into Aero territory. Out of the net, Gamble. He'll slow the puck, and now to Shargorodsky for Brian Pellerin, and he'll shoot it to center ice, but the Blades are there to control it. Here is the Blade now, a power play attack back in their own zone. 23 seconds left in the man advantage. Sikora, he'll just drift it back, and it's controlled by Kansas City. They'll move it up the right side now. Sikora up the gut. Michael Sikora shoots it into Aero territory. Here's Rob Robinson now. He'll turn and get it down the ice. Good play there, and that'll do it as there's 8 seconds left in the Kevin Dineen minor. So it hasn't been the penalty killing, even though the only goal is that power play goal from Mike Rathje. And now it is Dean Grillo. Grillo, a pass intercepted by Grant. Here is Mark Freer now. Freer trying to work it ahead. It's jammed along the boards here and finally shot in, and back is Troy Gamble. Back is Robinson now in behind the net. Robinson had it tipped away by Jan Shaluna. Came out in front, but Grant is there, and there's 1:06 remaining in this period. 1-0 Kansas City. Here's the puck centered, screaming right in front, but Robinson there to deflect it, and he'll move it up the left side. Rob Robinson for the Houston Aeros hoists it high in the air. That will bounce in the near corner. After it's Kevin Dineen, but it's muscled away by Andre Bouchon. Cleared it up for Jan Shalun. Right wing in his own zone. Knocked away by Dineen. Here is Arniel. Feathers a pass for Dineen. Can't find the handle on it, but he got it back. Here's Kevin Dineen at the left point. Dangling with a puck. Trying to send it in there. Arniel in a pretty good battle with Dean Grillo. And the Blades have got it with 35 left in the period. 1-0 Kansas City. Bouchon winding through the neutral zone. He'll backhand it into Aero territory. Out of the net, Troy Gamble. Now back behind for Oleg Shargorodsky. Cross ice pass. Eves has got it. 20 seconds in the period. Eves across the line. Tip it. Long centering pass. Kicked on rebound. Hit the side of the net. Chitteroni centered the pass. Knocked away by Nazarov. Aeros almost, but that hit the side of the net. Now Valama. Long shot is blocked. Here's Chitteroni to Shargorodsky. Centered it. And Chitteroni couldn't get the shot away. 3 seconds left. And the puck in Kansas City territory. And the horn will sound ending this period. So the Aeros coming up with some fine opportunities there, but couldn't get anything by Larry Dick. And the Aeros will go into the second period intermission trailing by a score of 1-0. When we return, Barry Werner will get a chance to chat with Graeme Townshend, and we'll have more IHL action from Kemper Arena after this. 1-0 Kansas City. Welcome back to Kemper Arena. Adam Gordon along with Barry Werner. 1-0 hockey game. The Blades leading it here in this second period intermission. And you know, the funny thing is we've talked about the defense for the Houston Aeros, and it hasn't been the defense tonight. It was just that one power play goal by Mike Rathje. And the Aeros trail 1-0 in a prime position going into the third period. But one guy I think maybe the Aeros kind of miss. You're looking for some physical play, maybe a timely goal. Graeme Townshend. He's been the man that's been able to come up maybe every once in a while with that timely goal, and he's standing by with Barry Werner. Barry?
Graeme, how difficult is it? You come to the rink, you're ready to skate, you got the equipment on, and the coach slides up next to you midway through the drills and says, "You're not dressing tonight."
Well, it's tough. It's tough emotionally. You always want to play, but you have to maintain a positive attitude. You can't let something like that affect you. You can't take it personally or anything like that. You just got to continue having a positive attitude and working hard.
You don't want to like a sport like baseball where you can go by batting averages or basketball. So much of the time in hockey, it's just a coach getting a feel, wanting to change things on, up lineup-wise. Is that easier to take, knowing that philosophy?
Yeah, it is. I mean, there's a lot of intangibles that go into choosing your lineup for a certain game. You know, some guys play better on the road. You look at how the other guys have played against certain teams, and that's how a coach kind of goes over his feelings as to who he's going to play. And sometimes it's a gut feeling.
What are you watching as you're sitting and being in the stands with the fans?
Well, I'm watching things like the power play, see how we break out, how we move the puck around. I watched some of the tendencies of their defensemen because, in the future I'll be playing against them again, I'm sure. So I watch little things like that. I watch how we work in the corners if we're hitting enough, things like that. And I try to learn as much as I possibly can about the game because I am watching it. It's going to help me to sit out and watch a game or two to help me improve my game.
During the course of the time since you left Kingston, Jamaica, went to Toronto and started hockey, how much racism have you incurred as one of the few black athletes in hockey?
Well, I don't know if you can consider it racism. I mean, I've heard certain things on the ice, although I haven't heard anything in the last 3 or 4 years, partly because of the way I've reacted to certain things over the years. But a lot of times it's just guys trying to get you off your game. But from a very early point in my career, I decided not to take it, and I haven't heard anything in the last 3 or 4 years.
Speaking of taking it, it looks like the Aeros took it to Kansas City in the second half.
I thought that the question that they threw their body, no question, helped get the puck free. Did you see the same thing?
Yeah, I watched Clayton's young line a lot out there. I play a lot with Clayton, and his line is out there banging, and they're creating opportunities. And Kevin Deneen is working very hard. A lot of guys are taking the body, and that's creating opportunities for us. We need to get a few more shots on the power play, though. We got to get the shots on net, and we got to get guys in front, creating traffic, and hopefully some rebounds for some garbage goals that aren't necessarily finesse goals, but they count on the scoreboard.
LA's wearing a coat and a tie tonight. Tomorrow night, he hopes to be wearing the green sweater when we go to Milwaukee. We'll have more hockey, but first let's go back upstairs and throw it to the captain of the broadcast crew, Adam Gordon.
Thanks, Bear. Thanks, Graeme. 1-0 hockey game here in the second period intermission. Can the Aeros tie it? Well, we'll have third period action coming up for you shortly, but also we've got some more coming up after this. 1-0 Kansas City. More from Kemper right after this.
You're watching Paramount 20, KTXH, Houston.
Welcome back to Kemper Arena, everybody. Adam Gordon along with Barry Warner. Kansas City leading the Aeros by a score of 1-0. And everybody's kind of familiar with the skating part of hockey and all the on-ice activities, but with you working so hard, there's a lot of off-ice training, aerobic and anaerobic exercising, and we're going to talk a little bit about anaerobic exercise. So let's take time out for good health.
Time Out for Good Health is presented by Columbia HCA Healthcare Corporation, a new commitment in healthcare together.
Welcome to Time Out for Good Health. An essential part of many conditioning programs is anaerobic and strength training. Let's go to the Aeros Conditioning Laboratory to see how their program is designed to help prevent injuries on the ice. Tonight we're going to continue our discussions regarding the forms of conditioning. We've previously covered aerobic conditioning. Tonight we're going to talk a bit about anaerobic conditioning. Jerry?
Anaerobic conditioning is done predominantly with our hockey team, done with the weightlifting equipment. And we use it predominantly for injury prevention. Of course, we also use it to gain muscle strength and muscle mass. Hockey players translate a little bit like football players in that size and speed are very, very important. So we use our weightlifting equipment to gain the strength that's required to play the sport, helping the checking and so forth on the boards. And then we also try to train to prevent any injuries that could occur. Hockey players, again, translates well to American football players in that the injuries are quite similar. It's mostly bumps, bruises, sprains, strains, all somewhat preventable from a good injury prevention standpoint with weightlifting and muscle training.
Remember to always check with your physician before beginning a new exercise program. Please join us at the next game for another session of Time Out for Good Health. At that time, we'll discuss safety equipment.
Time Out for Good Health was presented by Columbia HCA Healthcare Corporation, a new commitment in healthcare together.
Thank you very much. And here it's a 1-0 hockey game in favor of the Kansas City Blades. And let's take a look at the scoring summary brought to you by Columbia HCA Healthcare Corporation. And the only goal, they now have given it to Alexander Cherbayev. It was originally given to Rathje, but now Cherbayev gets his 6th of the year from Rathje and Andre Bouchon at 5:32. And the Blades now lead it by a score of 1-0. We'll take a look at the period stats when we return. 1-0 Kansas City. Back after this. Welcome back to Kemper Arena. 1-0 hockey game. Adam Gordon along with Barry Warner. Before we take a look at the highlights, I got to ask you, though, Barry, a better second period for the Aeros?
Much better. No question about it. In spite of giving up the goal, which they did change, I thought that the Aeros took the body to Kansas City, worked harder in the corners, and we saw the crisper passing. Why? Because the first pass coming out of the Aero zone was crisp. I cannot say enough about the play of the much maligned defense. They've been going 4 guys. I think the only healthy guy, and use that word very loosely after you've played over 35 games in a season, is Larry Robinson. But Jakes has played well. Valamont playing on one knee. Grant on that 3-on-1. Wouldn't have been great if Grant was able to pull the trigger on that, because of the bad show. They've played hard, they've played smart, and the confidence, which has seemed to disappear between the forwards and the defense, was very much at evidence during the second half of the second period.
Take a look at the second period highlights. They're brought to you by Toyota, and here's a look at the goal. And like we said, it's been changed from Rathje, who lets the shot go, but watch Alexander Cherbayev right there to knock it in, they say. Cherbayev pencils the one on the doorstep, but you watch here from the low angle. Rathje from the point lets it go, and then right there is Cherbayev to get a piece of it. Cherbayev gets his 6th of the year. But the Aeros come back. Are they going to solve this enigma? Well, first we've got this here it is, yes, the Larry Dick save is Mark Freer will come in to lead the rush. Unfortunately, it's Kevin Grant in on a breakaway. And Grant, I'm not slighting him at all. He makes a great move there, but Larry Dick says no.
He went to the 5-hole, which is right between his legs, and Dick covered up. And an excellent bit of stick handling on the part of Kevin Grant. And here, Kevin Dineen goes to the outside, brings it around and off the pad. It's the second time that he almost rings up Larry Dick, but number 1 comes up awfully big.
Well, when you think about it, the Aeros outworked the Kansas City Blades. We take a look at the high-low auto parts. 1-0 Kansas City, the score there. 14-12 were the shots on goal in favor of the Aeros. Penalties, 4 in that period for 11 minutes, 2 for 7 minutes for the Kansas City Blades. Aeros are now 0 for 4 on the power play. Kansas City 1 of 2 on the man advantage. For the lowest price every day, what you need is high-low. What the Aeros need is a goal. They trail 1-0.
We talk at the Open on the Oshman game plan about the opportunity to finish plays. The Aeros now have outshot Kansas City, but they have not finished it. Does not mean that they're playing poorly. This is a far different hockey game than the game that we saw the other night at home, where the Aeros just were sluggish and just were rather discombobulated. But this is a much better effort.
1-0 in favor of Kansas City. When we return, third period action from Kemper Arena after this. It's a 1-0 hockey game. Kansas City leading it here as we get started for the third period of action, and it's time to update you around scores around the IHL. We already told you Fort Wayne Cincinnati canceled tonight due to bad weather. Now in the second period, Denver hammering Indianapolis. That's being played at McNichols Arena. 4-1 Denver now leading Indianapolis. In the second period, Detroit 3-1 over Cleveland. Phoenix will beat Kalamazoo tonight in Kalamazoo by a score of 4-3. Also, Milwaukee in the second period, leading the San Diego Gulls by a score of 2-1. Also, late second period score, as a matter of fact. Las Vegas and the Minnesota Moose are tied at 1. Also in the second, Chicago leading Peoria by a score of 3-1. Here it is 1-0 in favor of Kansas City as we get started. And I mean, I don't know. We made the point kind of kiddingly. Someone threw a kitchen sink at Larry Dick, and he stopped that as well. Right now, I don't know what the Aeros are going to be able to do to beat this guy. I mean, shots on goal right now are 21-18 for the hockey game in favor of the Aeros. 21 shots. You got to think that maybe you're going to be able to get one by Larry Dick, but that just hasn't been the case. And Troy Gamble, let's not take anything away from him. He's played well. That shot was deflected by Cherbayev on the power play. You can't fault Gamble for that, and you can't fault the Aeros really for that.
No, Troy has done an excellent job. The Aeros have seen their goaltending become subpar, quite frankly, in the last few losses. But tonight, the man who wears number 1 has been outstanding. And as you said, you know, people don't realize it may look on our Paramount 20 replays that, oh, that was fluky. The players practice the deflection. They practice the tip drill every single game. They do it before the game. They do it in the drills. They do it during the scrimmages. It is something that they work on by design.
What is in the mind of Terry Ruskowski? What is in the mind of Jim Wiley? Well, obviously wins, but both trying to figure out how to do it. You know, Kansas City has not done very well this year at home. Their record at home, 500, 9-9-2. Aeros take it one worse right now at 8-9-3. They've lost 4 in a row at home, and right now that's their biggest stymie, is how to win at the Summit. I mean, they're playing in front of top-notch crowds, and I got to give a lot of credit, Barry, to the Houston fans. They have been outstanding. I mean, they come out just because they love this team. They support this team. The marketing team in the Houston Aeros, they've done a fantastic job. The fans are having a good time, and I think that's what it's all about. This team will get it together.
So many first-time Houstonians have took in hockey over the holiday weekend, and they will be back.
Here's the puck now as we get started for the third period with Kansas City leading 1-0. Gary Emmons gets it to center, and here is Chris Tansel weaving into the Aeros zone. A quick shot deflected away from Gamble. Now Tansel in the corner. Now looped it down. Cherbayev. He's got the goal as it's lobbed back in front. A deflection by Tansel, and Gamble the save. Puck loose in front, and Kevin Grant is there to lob it away. Now Grant trying to jam it ahead is behind the play. Tansel got into it with Robinson, and play going on right behind the referee. Now the puck played by Larry Dick, jammed away by Murray. He centered it, but nobody there for Houston, and Chris Tansel comes away. Tansel across the line looking for Cherbayev, and now he's got it. Alexander Cherbayev looks for the shot. He's batted around by Kevin Grant, and now it is Oleg Shagarodsky for Eves at center. He takes a shoulder from Cherbayev. Now in Kansas City territory, it's back at center, and now weave back into into Kansas City territory. It's out at center ice. Mike Yeo, who I think, if we had an unsung hero, kind of a 4th star award, I'd definitely give it to him tonight. I think he's played very, very well. Hasn't created much offense, but been really the only Aero that's consistently worked hard and hitting out there. Now Dean Grillo takes a bump from Mike Yeo, and here is Carl Valamont to the near side for Oleg Shagarodsky, weaving through the neutral zone across the line. Oleg barreling in, trying to center one. That's picked away, and the Blades come up with it now. Bouchon, left side, center ice pass in. Here's Jan Chaloun, but he couldn't get it away from Shagarodsky. Oleg trying to snap it out of there, and here is Clayton Young. Pass for Brian Pellerin, but he's got a couple of guys to beat. Pellerin will wind with a long shot, and a blocker save made by Larry Dick. Here's Michael Sikora now, weaving behind the net as the Aeros make changes on the go. Sikora carries the puck through the neutral zone, brings the puck in, long shot wide of the net. It'll go into the far boards and picked up by Jake, sweeps to center. Jake's trying to advance it, he's got it, and now the Blades take over. Sikora, quick pass, meandered into Aero territory, back behind the net. Jake's after it. Chitteroni will get there, and he'll play it from right to left. 2 minutes gone in the third. 1-0 Kansas City on Cherbayev's goal. Here is Robinson. Long cross ice pass intercepted, and here come the Blades. Nazarov pulls up, Waite centered. Here's the shot by Contain, blocked by Robinson, loose between the circles. It's worked. Cherbayev trying to jam it in there. Actually, that's Hodge that had it, and now Freer takes it away. Cross the ice for Chitteroni. Hits the line with Freer and Arniel. Chitteroni lost it. In there's Robinson to pump it away. Now taken by Bouchon. Clear it to the line. Not out. Held in by Grant. Long shot blocked. Loose in the circle. Picked up by Hodge for Kansas City. Runs it out to center for JF Contain. Drifts back to his own blue line. Now it is Ken Hodge. Chipped it into Aero territory. Robinson there to knock it down. And he'll get it to center as Chitteroni trying to catch the Blades in a line change. Chitteroni for Freer at the line. Can't move the puck, and the Blades come well, but they take it away. Chitteroni right in, and he lost the puck. It just, oh man, another chance, and Chitteroni then fires the puck in there. And frustration, you know, has got to start setting in on the Aeros here. Unbelievable. 3 minutes gone in the third. We'll take time out. 1-0 Kansas City. We'll be back after this.
At Southwest Airlines, some of our most important projects never get off the ground. Like our South Mountain Park project in Phoenix, where we spent a day replanting trees and shrubs destroyed by summer brush fires. Or our Midwest Flood Relief Project, where we gathered tons of food and supplies to aid thousands of people whose homes were ravaged by floods. Why are some of our most rewarding projects so down to earth? Because we're not a company of planes, we're a company of people.
Hey, Tim. Guess what, man? Boss called Jimmy in again.
You finally get the axe?
I don't know. They still in there.
Well, something's gotta give.
You know, I actually feel bad for the guy.
What do you mean? Guy clocks in drunk? His wife and kids, that's who I feel bad for.
Yeah. What are they gonna do if he loses another job?
If you have a problem with alcohol, call Charter at 1-800-CHARTER. If you don't get help at Charter, please get help somewhere.
With Kansas City leading 1-0 in the third, I think Mario Chitteroni right here wished that the puck was metal and his stick was a magnet, because right there, needed another inch on the tip of his blade, and it just goes wide. 3 minutes gone in the third. 1-0 Kansas City. Puck in Blade territory. Deneen trying to center one. That's right onto the stick of Larry Dick. He's down and covering up. It's going to take something extra special or extra fluky, I think. In fact, they've had a couple of fluky chances the Aeros have, and well, Larry Dick has stopped those as well.
The fluky ones, the hard blast shots by Kevin Deneen, it doesn't matter. He has made the plays.
Face off to the left of Larry Dick. Blades win the draw. Fighting after it's Eves, but Dick came out of the net trying to clear it. Jumped on again by Eves. I thought Eves has played a decent game tonight. Now the corner, Rathje takes a check from Dave Tippett. And now it is Kenny Hammond trying to muscle it ahead. The Blades have got it moving up the right side for Emmons. Can't clear. Eves fighting for it. He's got his man Hammond tied up. Dineen's in there trying to muscle it away. And now Tippett comes away. Centering pass. Dineen shoots. Great save by Larry Dick. Unbelievable. Great play by Tippett to get the puck through his skates ahead to Dineen, who had to fish it out of his skates and then got a quick shot away. And Larry Dick stoned him with a nice stop. 1-0 Kansas City.
Great job there by Tippett on the give and go. And you can see what Adam was talking about with the left skate, how he controls the puck. This is the third time, the first period, the second period, and now in period number 3, where Dick has stopped Kevin Dineen.
Look at where Larry Dick is. Top of the crease. Talk about cutting down the angle. When you come out that far, and especially the fact that Kevin Dineen had a split second to think about it. He got a good shot away, but Dick a great save as Robinson long shot. Larry Dick to save the rebound. Backhanded by Yo, and Dick stopped that. Somebody call me a doctor. He's made another heart-stopping save and keeps it 1-0.
Adam, the big thing there, the Aeros once again winning a face-off in Kansas City's end. We've talked about that. You're looking for positives that would have happened. They win it. They get the blast, the rebound, backhand, and Dick smothers it.
I think this is one of those games where you can put the Columbia HCA timeout for good health. Let's go on to cardiovascular or cardiology as heart-stopping saves all abound here in this hockey game by Larry Dick. Face off to the left of Dick. Here is a puck controlled by Mike Yo, trying to move it ahead. He's wrapped up by Sikora. They go at it along the boards. Yo still fighting for the puck. Now it is a chance for Pellerin, trying to move it ahead. It's intercepted. Clayton Young, right in, shoots, great save, Dick, rebound! Oh my, great glove save by Larry Dick. Somebody give him a haircut. He's standing on his head now making saves, and he comes up with a nice stop by Larry Dick, and now an icing call on the Aeros. I don't know what else they're going to throw at Larry Dick. He's going to stop that as well.
Adam and I, since the game has begun, have been talking about Mike Yo and how hard he has worked. The rebound there, right on the short side, and Yo thought that he had goal number 3, and somehow, some way, that long glove comes out and denies him. The rebound right off the stick and the glove, and Yo robbed. R-O-B-B-E-D. He is completely robbed.
Oh my. Wow. Can I think of any other explicatives? Oi. Face off to the right of Larry Dick. Now it's just something special. If you're just a hockey fan, you got to be enjoying the show he's putting on. Here's the puck now, controlled by the Aeros at center. Freer trying to move it ahead. I'll tell you what, give the Aeros credit. They have not given up. They continue to come at him. They know that if they can bear down, they may get one by him. No. May. That's a few months away. I don't know what they're going to do to solve him. Here's Carl Valawan in his own zone. These teams will play each other 6 more times. Do you think they'll come back with Larry Dick the next time? I think so. Here's Mark Freer. Pass for Shagoronsky. That's intercepted by J.F. Contain. And it's out at center ice. Here come the Blades now. Andrei Nazarov across the line. Looks for Contain. Nice centering pass right on. And Gamble answers as he stacks the pad and rejects that out of there. So now both goalies coming up big. Nazarov again. Here's Andrei Nazarov. Turns to the left point. Nazarov, top of the slot. Looks for the shot. Now backhands one into the corner. After it, Hodge. He tries to get it to Nazarov. It's centered in front, and there was Gamble to sweep that away, and the Aeros clear it. Shagoronsky for Chitteroni. Mario backhands one into Kansas City territory, intercepted by Hodge, and now the Aeros making a line change. Contain. Ahead, Scremin across the line. Nice move. Scremin in, but he's got his stick lifted by Tippett. Great play there. And the Aeros comes to center ice. Here is Denis now. Backhand sweep into Kansas City territory. Dick out of the net. Now back are the Blades. Rathje roll it near side. Scremin. It's out at center ice. Here's Kevin Grant now at his own blue line. Get the pass to Robinson. To Dave Tippett. Trying to move it ahead. It's Claudio Scremin and Murray Eves going at it. Dave Tippett intercepts. Looking for Eves. Bounding puck behind the net. Here's Eves. Can't center it. He's wrapped up by Rathje. Dished into the corner with a solid check. Eves down. Trying to cover it up, but it's fished out of there by Gary Emmons. And now the Blades. Oh, a dangerous pass there by Scremin. But at this point, it's like he doesn't care the way his goalie's playing. Puck is in Aero territory. Deneen gives the puck to Tippett now. Dave Tippett muscling it ahead for Rob Robinson. And the Aeros trying to move it ahead. Here is Clayton Young. at center. Young with a puck over the line, had it poke checked by Rathje. 13:41 to go here in the third period. 1-0 Kansas City. Here is Kevin Grant now, right side. He's checked along the boards by Dean Grillo. Puck frozen as they go skate to skate along there, and finally the Aeros shoot it down the ice. This will produce an icing call as Sikora goes back to play it, and play whistle down. 13:24 to play here in the third period. 1-0 in favor of the Kansas City Blades.
We praise the man you're looking at right now, Larry Dick, but what about Troy Gamble? He has come up big, big, big. If the game ended right now, Dick would get the #1 star, but how could you deny Troy Gamble the second, because he's made saves like this all game long as J.F. Contain comes in on the 2-on-1 and Troy Gamble answers the charge.
Face off to the right of Troy Gamble. Young to take the draw. He's out there with Yo and Pellerin. Grillo trying to win it, but Young wins it. Played by the Aeros. Valamont skipping behind his net to Yo. Left side, lead pass center ice, and here's Clayton Young. A man to beat Sikora. Clayton Young winds, and Sikora with that long reach at 6'3", able to poke it away. Now on the boards for Schweiler. He takes a boot from Mike Yo, and it's out at center ice. Valamont trying to turn it ahead. Tell you what, Barry, the Aeros, they're coming at him. There's no doubt about it. They're having a strong period here, but I don't know what they're going to have to do to put it behind Larry Dick, except throw it in themselves, and you can't do that. Here's Clayton Young now at center ice. Young for the Aeros, chipped it into Kansas City territory. Sikora on his horse back to retrieve. It's jammed along the board. Sikora in there. He's got it to the right side for Jan Shalhoun. Shalhoun's pass at center for Kevin Wortman. Wortman crossed it up. Shalhoun trying to bring it in. Popped away by Young of Houston. And now the Aeros turn it around. Jakes, though, 2-on-3. Now 1-on-3. Moving around Ken Hodge, and then Bouchon goes in. And it's turned away, but Jake's got the job done. He allowed his team to get a line change, and now they're into forecheck. Here come the Blades, left to right. Wortman trying to work it through the check of Arniel, out to center. And now played by Hodge. Pass for J.F. Contain, shaking off Jakes. It comes down, and picked away by Mario Chitteroni. Long ice pass. That was a hand grenade. Somebody jump on that. Here's Freer, centered it. It went just wide of the net. Now Hodge, left side, worked it back along the boards. Chitteroni, quick turnaround, snapshot wide. Here is Scremin and Arniel fighting for a loose puck. And the Blades come at center ice. Ken Hodge across the line for J.F. Contain. Near circle, wide, shoots right on. Gamble, save, rebound. It's picked up, Aeros. Oh, and it just sizzled wide of the net. Now it's feathered behind the cage. A centering pass. The shot scored. Ken Hodge. Where was Kevin Grant? He could have had him. It's now a 2-0 hockey game.
The Aeros defense, which has been very, very solid. Let's one go by there, as you said. Kevin Grant, you would appear before we check out the replay, should have come out and done a better job of tying up Ken Hodge. The Aeros have been playing hard. They've been throwing the body. The passing has been crisp. They've been playing with fresh legs. But you cannot give Kansas City another opportunity.
11th goal of the year for Hodge. And the Aeros kind of getting it and trying to get it out of there. A loose puck, nobody wanted it. And then finally, this is a great play by Nazarov, who found Contain, who found Hodge, and like that, it was a 2-0 hockey game, and that one hurts. After as hard as the Aeros have played. Here's Mike Maurice at center, trying to roll it ahead and hit the skates of the linesman, and now Tansel with one man to beat Shagarodski. Tansel across the line, quick shot, and it went through the skates of Oleg. Now Oleg muscling him down to the ice, and they're going to call a penalty on that. They're going to call a penalty interference to Oleg Shagarodski, and the Aeros are going to be shorthanded when we return. 2-0 Kansas City. More after this.
A 25-year legacy of adventure is about to enter a new age.
Gentlemen, welcome aboard Voyager.
Imagine being 70,000 light years from home, adrift in uncharted space, forced to ally yourself with a mortal enemy. Now stop imagining. It's about to happen. Star Trek Voyager.
Premieres January 16th on Paramount 20.
Presenting the year-end blowout on Maytag at Electric Avenue with 0% interest on offers that will defy the imagination. Get a $50 rebate on a fully featured washer-dryer pair. Free installation on Maytag dishwashers. Plus save on Maytag ranges and refrigerators and pay no interest for a whole year. But time is limited, so don't clown around. Come see rarely seen sights and the most amazing deals on earth. Don't miss the year-end blowout on Maytag at Electric Avenue.
2-0 Kansas City. Adam Gordon along with Barry Warner, and now Kansas City going to go on the power play.
Adam, when you're in a slump, it seems like you get snake bit. The Aeros, and again, playing with 4 defensemen, they do a good job. Robinson goes down, stops the puck. They go into the corner. Nazarov comes out, and then they get outmanned, outnumbered. Kansas City blasts one. Kansas City has got an opportunity right now to really put this game so far out of reach, you're not going to be able to find it with the Hubble telescope.
Face off to the left side of Troy Gamble. Maurice against Gary Emmons. They joust a little bit. Now Maurice tossed out of the circle. And the Aeros will use Scott Arniel.
And Adam, a shorthanded goal right now, all bets are off. You got a totally different hockey game.
Or make that Kevin Dineen look like an 11. It's 10. From where I'm at, it's kind of hard to see the numbers. So it'll be Dineen against Emmons, and the Blades win the draw. Here's Cherbaya along the near side for Emmons. Worked it back to the line. Here's Kenny Hammond, top of the slot. Pass to the left side, Rathje. Blades move the puck around the perimeter. The Blades, or the Aeros rather, attacking though, and here they come shorthanded. They've got 10 shorthanded goals on the year, but Maurice's pass deflected past Dineen. And out is Ken Hammond. Hands a pass back for Mike Rathje, and here comes Kansas City now from left to right and shoots it into Aero territory. It'll be icing as Valamont goes back. He will play it and icing the call. 1:28 left in the Shagarodski minor. 10:47 left here in the third period. And it's Kansas City 2, Houston nothing.
And with 10 minutes to play, there is a lot of time as Ruskowski looks and says, which one of my guys on the green sweater is going to make it happen? But there's a lot of time remaining in this hockey game.
Face-off will be to the right of Larry Dick. Face-off to the right of Larry Dick means Tippett will take the draw against Ken Hodge. Tippett out there with Kevin Dineen. Kevin Grant, Kyle Valamont defensively. It's so hard with 4D. It's hard enough for 5D, the 5D that the Aeros have got. Here's the puck in Blade territory. Tippett now trying to move it along the boards. Dave Tippett, base of the right circle, bumped by Scremin. Tippett fighting for it. Now we're going to get a penalty on Claudio Scremin. Delayed penalty. Aeros with an extra attacker, and they're going to wait, and this is a good play now, as it's going to be Kevin Grant drifting back into his own zone, and it'll be now an extra attacker for the Houston Aeros. Kevin Grant. That was uneventful. It was play whistle down now. 10:22 left in the third. 2-0 Kansas City.
We'll see who goes off here for Jim Wiley's club.
I thought it was going to be JF Contain, but it's not. Well, Claudio Scremin was the one that was in there grinding. It should be Scremin. That's the guy that should go off. And I think it will be.
Yeah, he's trying to plead his case and now heads towards the penalty box.
So Scremin goes into the box, and the Aeros, with half a period to play here in this third. This is I hate to really attribute any particular play as do or die, but the way Larry Dick's playing, this is almost what it is. The Aeros need it here. It'll be Young and Chitteroni with Robinson and Jakes. Off the face-off now. The Aeros have got it. Jakes at his own blue line. We'll go 4-on-4 now for 58 seconds. Then the Aeros will get about a minute on a power play. Michael Sikora now behind the net for Kansas City. A pass to the left side for Ken Hodge. A rink wider for JF Contain. Got right by Robinson. In on goal. And it's tipped away. And it's played by Rob Robinson. Robinson scampers up ice. Robinson through the neutral zone. Hits the line. Dumps it into the corner. Workman back after it. Trying to muscle it through Clayton Young. Now it is Chitteroni. Base of the right circle. Sharp angle shot deflected up and out of play.
Adam, looking for bright spots as we see Jake starting to go after JF Contain. Normally it's Jakes and Wood.
You might see Wood next shift, but it's 4-on-4 hockey. I don't know if they want to put him out there or not. They might, but now Jakes is going to go off, so it doesn't matter. Jakes will come off, but so will JF Contain. So we'll bring her down to 4-on-4 hockey. 28 seconds left in Shagarodski's minor. 1:25 left in the Scremin minor. 9:46 to go in the third. Blades by 2.
Adam, one positive on that last rush down. Robinson, as the forward tried coming in, did an excellent job as they sandwiched the forward and prevented the goal from going in. Those are the type of plays that have snake bit the Aeros in the past.
Here's a top secret message for all you squadron leaders. You and your troops can support the Houston Aeros war effort. Great seats are are available for all games for groups of 20 or more. Enjoy special group pricing and see your company name in the lights on the scoreboard. Squadron leaders receive an Aeros t-shirt, and everyone in your group is eligible to win prizes in the group sweepstakes. Enlist in the Aero Force. Call 627-AERO, 627-AERO. The battle is underway. Call 627-AERO. The Aeros, well, they've been doing it in the shots department, 29-23. Have they done it in the goals department? Not. But not because of a lack of effort. It's been because of that man playing the puck right there, Larry Dick. Standing on his spleen tonight. Unbelievable saves from Larry Dick. Here is Chris Hensel now. The 4-on-4 hockey, and then in 10 seconds, Aeros will get a power play. Here's Rob Robinson now. Robinson from right to left, 9:24 to go in the hockey game. Aeros trail by 2. They need one quickly. They're going to get a chance here on the power play. Now is back out on the ice is Oleg Shagarodsky. Puck in Kansas City territory. Freer trying to muscle it through Ken Hammond. In there is Arniel. He'll chip it along the boards. Takes a weird hop. It's held by Deneen, drifting back to a right point. Cross ice pass. Shagarodsky winds, shoots right in there, and Freer's going to get nailed for a penalty for interference. They're going to nail Mark Freer for running into the goaltender, and that'll do it for the Aero power play. So Freer just kind of stands there with a livid look on his face, says, "What? Oh, well." So much for that, and he'll go off.
Snake bit. That's the only thing I can think of, Adam. You get the advantage on the power play, and something inadvertent happens.
So if you watch Freer, when he comes through the crease, he was trying to screen the Shagarodsky shot, and they say right there got into it. I'll tell you though,
questionable.
Yeah, it is questionable. I mean, you got Larry Dick coming out to cut down the angle. Freer, I think, kind of beat him to that particular spot, but it's questionable at best. I mean, it's one that perhaps you could have called.
You got one pad in the crease, the other pad out of the crease, and it was nothing premeditated.
Face off at center ice. Mario Chitteroni, Mike Maurice with Oleg Shagarodsky and Carl Valamont. 9:01 to go here in the third. 2-1 Kansas City. Here's Valamont now as we're back to 4-on-4 hockey. Seems like we've seen a lot of that here in this period. Valamont pass for Chitteroni, moving up the right side. Got it through Cherbayev, tipped it through Rafchi, but Mike's got that long reach, worked it away, but not out. Chitteroni, base of the right circle, he centered it, but right to Gary Emmons, and he'll turn in his own zone. Emmons skates at center ice. Worked it ahead for Kenny Hammond across the line. Hammond with a puck. Hammond pulled up at a right point, trying to center one. That hit Cherbayev. It was punched to center. Now Shagarodsky's got a 2-on-1 break. Shagarodsky across the line, and I can't believe it. Mike Maurice a little overeager, and you can't be squandering chances like that. And that one quickly Orion. That 2-on-1 is dust. 2-0 in favor of Kansas City. We'll have more from Kemper Arena after this.
They're back. Littlefoot, Sarah, Spike, Ducky, and Petrie in The Land Before Time 2. The all-new feature-length movie that's only on video cassette. It's filled with new adventures and new surprises, like the lovable baby Chomper. Chomper! So share the excitement. Bring home The Land Before Time 2, The Great Valley Adventure. It's millions of years worth of family fun for only $19.98 or less.
It's not the instrument, it's who's playing it. It's not the club, it's who swings it. It's not just the phone, it's the people who make it ring. It's the people who are always there for you. It's the people at GTE MobileNet. More than cellular phones, cellular service. Please let us know how we can serve you.
Congratulations, Gary, from Cellular. Kansas City 2, Houston 0. Adam Gordon, Barry Warner from Kemper Arena. A little snow on the ground tonight. Cold outside, in here red hot. Kansas City, and mostly because of the man in the pipes, Larry Dick. Aeros shoot it at center. It'll go back into Kansas City territory. Back is Ken Hodge. Hodge will play it in behind the net now. He's got not the game-winning goal, but maybe the one that could be sort of the quote-unquote nail in the coffin goal. Here is Scremin now. Pass Shalhoub. He's in on goal. White turns, and a great diving poke check by Troy Gamble. That Jan Shalhoub, man, he is unbelievable. He's like a magician. He kind of just pops him out of nowhere, and next thing you know, he's in alone. Scremin top of the slot. Left point. It's played by Bouchon. Jammed it down for Jan Shalhoub as Kansas City on the power play. Shalhoub worked it down to Zaroff. 43 on the power play. Puck centered. It was jammed away by Gamble. Now another chance. Shalhoub centered it, but right to Murray Eves, and right down the ice that goes.
Hodge and Robinson really getting into it in front of the cage.
Now out is Andre Bouchon in his own zone, drifting back. A pass for Chris Tansel. He'll turn up ice. Tansel, center ice for Kansas City. Nice pass for Shalhoub. Hits the line with Emmons. Emmons looks in front, instead drops it back. Shalhoub barreling in. Emmons ran into Clayton Young, and he'll stay with the puck, though, to Alexander Cherbayev. Cherbayev to the line, Bouchon. Back Cherbayev, right wing boards. To the line again, Andre Bouchon looks in front, and we get a whistle. And I have no idea why. Did we get a penalty call? What's going on here? I totally missed it. Maybe it was a hand pass? Oh, too many men on the ice. Okay, well, that'll work. Too many men on the ice for Kansas City, so that'll do it for their power play. And there's only 8 seconds left in it, so the Aeros will get a minute 52 on the power play here. So maybe with some disciplined play, the Aeros keep their cool here. They'll have themselves a power play and a chance to maybe get on the board here.
Adam, what they have to do are pepper the shots on goal. They can't sit there and pass. Blast the shot. Move out of the way. Get some opportunities down low. Slide over and jam it behind Larry Dick, but they can't control the puck. They've got to let it fly.
Upcoming games on KTXH Paramount 20 tomorrow night, 7:30 from Bradley Center, the Aeros and the Admirals. And then next Friday at 8 o'clock from McNichols Arena in Denver, your old stomping grounds, 8 o'clock face-off from Denver. And then Friday, January 21st, that is a rare home game that Paramount 20 will air against the Cleveland Lumberjacks. Right now, we've got 7:04 left here in Kemper. Kansas City leading by a score of 2-0. Here is Shagaradze. Swing a pass to the near side, Deneen. For Scott Arniel across the line. Dumps it in, far corner, Freer. Base of the right circle. Aeros on the man advantage. Freer trying to work it through the skates of Sikora. Can't do it. Puck comes right back out at center ice. Oleg Shagaradze hustles back now. Oleg in his own zone. Drifting back, and he'll flip a pass to Tippett. Dave Tippett for Scott Arniel. And now it's brought in by Freer. That almost looked offsides, but now it's Shagaradze for Arniel. Scott Arniel carrying down the right side, back in behind the net. Here's Freer, pulls up, wheels, deals, give it to Arniel. Back to the line, Shagaradze wide, shoots, that hit a skate. Here's the shot in front, and Larry Dick down to cover it up. Mark Freer, oh boy, just kind of looks up and says, what next? He was right in alone, and he didn't put much on Larry Dick.
The blaster right off of a skate. Freer is camped out to the right of the left of Larry Dick, and just does not get enough lumber on it. You can see how the puck was just deflected, and a very opportunistic Mark Freer does not get enough of the blade on the puck.
6:24 left in the third. 2-0 in favor of Kansas City. Top of the puck. And the Blades, well, they had won it, but Deneen was in there to fight for it. Deneen worked it through. Arniel didn't expect that, so now Rathje will clear. It'll come to the line and ride out. Shagaradze couldn't hold it in, and the Aeros go back. Here is Dave Tippett now. He'll move the puck from right to left. Tippett. He'll carry it to center ice, trying to shake off a JF contained hook. It'll go into Kansas City territory. Dick out of the net. He'll slow it. Now, gave the puck away, but Arniel couldn't jump on it, and it's right back out at center ice. 5:54 to go in the third. 2-0 in favor of Kansas City. 42 left on the power play. Here's Shagaradze now. Oleg Shagaradze. Pass to the right side. Clayton Young moves it through Dotywood. Now Shagaradze jumps on it. Moving down the right side. Had the lane closed down. Tell you what, give Kansas City credit. Their defensive coverage and their attack, their penalty killing has been solid tonight. But when they have broken down and the Aeros have gone to work, Larry Dick's been the man in the pipe. It's been a great team effort tonight for Kansas City, and don't take anything away from Houston. They played very well tonight. There's no doubt. They trail 2-0. Power play is now down to 13 seconds. I guess if you had to find the worst part of their game, this would be it right now tonight. The power play is just, it's been horrible. Here's Mike Maurice. A shot goes wide of the net. Now back along the boards of the line. Kevin Graham, long shot deflected just wide. Now the power play over. Teams at 5 aside. Puck in the corner, picked up by Eves, trying to chip it through. It comes to Mike Maurice, and they'll say that was a hand pass, and play halted with exactly 5 minutes to go here in the third period. 2-0 in favor of Kansas City, and we'll have more from Kemper after this.
Give me a draft.
Cold filtered beers are smooth, but they're nothing new.
How about an ice?
Ice beers start cold, but most are heat pasteurized. Not cool.
Bud Ice.
That's why Bud Ice is ice brewed and cold filtered to start cold and stay cold. Get real cold with icy smooth Bud Ice and new 96-calorie Bud Ice Light. What more could you want?
Can you hear it? It's the 16th annual Toyota-thon. Time to celebrate the best all-star lineup of new Toyotas ever, like the new flagship, Avalon, starting at only $22,758. Or the new Toyota T100 Extra Cab, big room, big power. Check out the all-new Tercel, starting under $10,000. And here comes the redesigned Celica Convertible. So hurry to your Toyota dealer now during the 16th annual Toyota-thon. New year, new cars, great deals.
Adam Gordon, Barry Warner, 2-0 Kansas City. And a face-off now at center ice just outside the blade zone.
Adam, I think we can look for Kansas City now to use their parent club's defensive scheme. What that is they'll bring one of their forwards up and have 3 men across the blue line. That's what the San Jose Sharks did a great deal of last year.
Here's Carl Valamon. He'll shoot the puck into Kansas City territory. Back is Wortman. He'll jam it along the boards. It's picked up by Ferschweiler and out at center. Now Kevin Grant shoots it right back in, but Michael Sikora is there. Sikora. He's watched by Yo and decides to turn back behind the net to seek a little refuge, and now is Jan Shalhoub. Shalhoub can't clear, so the Aeros in, forechecking pretty well. Ferschweiler trying to clear it. He didn't. It was held in barely, though, by Kevin Grant. And it's back out at center ice. We're down to 4:26 left in the third. If the Aeros want to get into this one, better do it quickly. Last 5 or so minutes, they really haven't done much to test Larry Dick. Granted, they've also been shorthanded as well, but Kansas City just clamping down now. And here is Kevin Grant. A long shot hit the skate of Yo. Now Valamon left side. Runs it behind the net as Valamon unloaded by Wortman. Puck was centered, but blocked by Dean Grillo. Cleared to the line, not out. Grant held it in for Chitteroni. Takes a bump by Wortman. It's cleared to center ice. Here's Kevin Grant. Gave it away. Now Jan Shalhoub trying to make the move around Valamon, who poked that away. Nice play there by Carl Valamon. Really, you hate to see the rookie with the puck there when you're Carl Valamon. Now the Aeros changing on the go. Here is Claudio Scremin. A pass picked up by J.F. Quintain. Sends it back, and Andre Bouchon had it rolled away, but Scremin jumps on it now. Scremin through the neutral zone. Had a poke check by Maurice, and now jumped on. Here come the Aeros. Maurice across the line, looks in front. Quick shot. Great save by Larry Dick. A right pad save through traffic. Gee, he's been wonderful. Shargorodsky across the line. I'm going to start needing to go to my thesaurus to find more adjectives. I've used just about every one to describe Larry Dick tonight. Here's a centering pass. Arniel can't pull the trigger. Now behind the net, Arniel. Base in the left circle. To the line, Robinson. Now it's just a matter of can the Aeros avoid getting shut out for the first time this season and in franchise history. Nazarov comes away, looking in front. He decides not to feed Contain, and he'll carry it in and just dump it in. Under 3 minutes to go. Can the Blades get the shutout for their goalie, Larry Dick? It is Robinson. Shoots it in. Far corner, and skipped over the stick of Larry Dick. Now, and there it is. Clayton Young fighting for it. And finally to the line, Robinson. He takes a bump by Cherbayev. They go at it, skate to skate. It's taken by Kansas City and rolled out at center. Here's Kevin Grant now. 2.5 to go in the third. Pass at center. Here comes Kevin Dineen. Hits the line. Dineen into the slot. Quick shot right on blocker save made by Larry Dick. Down to the near corner. It's picked up by the Blades and shot out at center ice. So we're going to get a penalty coming up. It's going to be on the Houston Aeros. It's going to be on Clayton Young. He's going to get nailed for slashing. And that will really, for all intents and purposes, unless the Aeros can come up with a pair of shorthanded goals, ice it for Kansas City.
Linesman having a tough time getting Clayton Young in, who's reluctantly goes in without, but he definitely lets the referee know what's going on. Dick has been outstanding. It is hard to believe that he was obtained on waivers. Doug Sothbart, the general manager, picked Dick up on waivers when he was cut loose by Milwaukee, but time and time again, he has made terrific saves, as our Paramount 20 replays have shown during the course of the evening. Doesn't matter whether it's high, whether it's with a blocker or the pad save, he's made everything. Everything, I think, Adam, except maybe a behind-the-back, eyes closed, bending over save.
He did that, remember?
You're right.
Well, Clayton Young, well, he's never been accused of sitting silently. He's had the jaws working before, and his jaws just earned him a 10-minute misconduct, and he's done for the night. Not that that means anything with 2:13 left. And then Clayton Young,
uncharacteristically, squirts the water bottle as he goes upstairs.
Face off top of the near circle. It'll be Eves and Pellerin with Valamont and Grant. So it'll be 3 in a row that Kansas City has beaten the Aeros, but more importantly, 5 losses in a row. That's the bad news. The good news, played better tonight. They just, the offense, I don't know, can you fault them? We talked about the third key in the Oshman's game plan, and we said that the Aeros had to finish. We said they needed to. They are out shooting their opponents in their last 4 games. You can make it now last 5 as they're out shooting Kansas City 33-24. We said the last key was to finish. I don't know how you can't fault them for not being able to finish when you got Larry Dick standing on his lips all night.
They're giving you the effort. They're giving as good as they can play.
Puck is in Aero territory. Pellerin trying to loop it along. He's knocked off the puck. Remember, Kansas City on the power play here. Face of the left circle. Gary Emmons now drifting back at the hash marks. He'll get set. Emmons to the line. Rafchi wide shoots. Got good bad wood on it. It came just in front and gambled down to cover up. Now Pellerin getting into it a little bit here with Alexander Cherbayev. You want to hear the scary part about this game, unless the Aeros were to score. If the Aeros do not score, this would be the 3rd straight game that Alexander Cherbayev gets the game-winning goal. He got him in the 2 in the Summit, and he's got right now the game-winning goal as of credit now. But like we said, 1:51 left. If the Aeros score, then they would credit the game-winning goal to Ken Hodge.
Bottom line, it goes into the record books, or it will unless there's some magic, as a 5th straight loss for the Aeros. An Aero team who played far better than their loss the other night against the Denver Grizzlies.
No, this was, I think, a far more encouraging game. I know, like, if you talk to Terry Ruskowski after the game, he's going to be a little sour. I mean, he hates to lose, and it's 5 in a row, but I don't know how you can fault the team tonight. They've played well. And credit Kansas City, they played well too tonight. It's just been a great game. When you get the goaltending, that makes the difference. As Tansel a shot, and again, I'm not taking anything away from Gamble. I don't think you fault him on any of the goals tonight. Puck is at center, I thought. Rathje, I guess, held it in, they say. It comes down for Tansel. Waltz is in, centered it. Emmons can't get the shot away, and we're down to 1:20 now. 2-0 Kansas City. Here's Carl Valamont. A pass for Mario Chitteroni. Across the line, shoots. Dick a left pad save. And now it is jumped on by Gary Emmons. Skates it through the zone. The Aeros are still shorthanded. They'll be shorthanded until 13 seconds remain in this game. Tansel right side. Tansel top of the slot. Centered it to the left side for Andre Bouchon. Bouchon jammed it down. It went behind the net. Here's Alexander Cherbayev, base of the left circle. It came out in front to the circle. Maurice able to clear it, and that'll go down the ice. So power play now down to 36 seconds to Clayton Young's penalty. Here's Andre Bouchon. He'll weave up and through the zone. Claudio Scremin, right side. He'll shoot it in. Now on the boards, J.F. Contain. Eves back to lug the puck. Murray Eves drifting behind the net, and he'll turn, shake off a Contain check, and get it back out at center. 29 seconds to go, 15 seconds left in the power play. Andre Bouchon in behind the net. This win for Kansas City will snap a 2-game losing skid for him. Eves for Houston. A pass for Brian Pellerin. He'll hoist that high in the air and a little too much loft, and his 9-iron is going to get him in a little trouble there as it gets it out of play. 11 seconds left, by the way. Now teams at 5 aside. So 11 seconds to go in the game. 2-0 in favor of Kansas City. Face off at center. Be sure to join us tomorrow night. The Aeros and the Milwaukee Admirals. And the game time will be at 7:30. Barry Warner and myself bringing you all the play-by-play action. Tippett, Yo now with Kevin Dineen. Maybe a forecast of things to come tomorrow.
I'm an optimist.
Top of the puck. Tippett normally not a center iceman, but he wins the draw. Here's the puck brought in by Yo. That's turned around by Scremin. Now jam back in front. 2 seconds left, and this hockey game is over. The Houston Aeros now have lost 5 in a row, and they continue to trying to find ways to win. Tonight they found ways to try to win. Unfortunately, there was a brick wall in front of the Kansas City net that had Larry Dick written all over it. So the Aeros continue to just kind of shake their heads and wonder what next. So the Aeros, their record will go to 17-4. Now back to 500 hockey. Stay at 38 points. Kansas City 19-18-2, 40 points, second place. So let's line it up for you. Milwaukee, the Aeros opponent tomorrow with 50 points. actually, they're winning. They might have 52. That game should be over by now. We'll assume they win 52 points. Atlanta, or make that Kansas City with 40, Atlanta with 39, Houston with 38, and Minnesota at 31. Let's take time out. 2-0 Blades. More from Kemper Arena after this. Houston Aeros hockey on Paramount 20 has been sponsored by Southwest Airlines, by Columbia Hospital, by McDonald's, by Heine Lotto Parts, and by new Ice Brewed Ice Draft from Budweiser. Welcome back to Kemper Arena. 2-0 final tonight. The Kansas City Blades defeat the Houston Aeros. And Barry Warner, I got to tell you, the key point of this hockey game is you look at the Southwest Airlines play of the game, just plain smart play of the game. The Aeros were down only 1-0 when they got this breakaway for Kevin Grant. Kevin Grant will go in alone here. He'll have the breakaway, and boom, here's a chance to tie the game. Do you think he's going to do it? Not. But we do have some lovely parting gifts for you. Thanks for trying, says Larry Dick. And it kept it 1-0. And then later in the third period, it'd be Ken Hodge that would get the 2-0 goal. And the Aeros kind of falter a little bit there. But overall, I think they've got to hold their heads high.
Adam, I've seen the Aeros play worse and win than they did tonight. And they played again with 4 defensemen. Gosselin went down with the injury early in the game. The team captain, Curtis Hunt, is back home, back at the hotel, I should say, with a bad back. Probably will undergo surgery. They're down to 4 defensemen. They played a whale of a game, and they didn't make the dumb mistakes that we've seen in the past. You got to give credit, though, tonight to Larry Dick, because his performance took his other teammates right along with him. They all played one notch above.
Let's take a look at tonight's scoring summary, brought to you by Columbia HCA Healthcare Corporation. Blades take it 1-0. Alexander Cherbayev, a goal we originally thought was Rathje's first of the year. Nope. Cherbayev gets his 6th. The power play goal at 5:32. Mike Rathje and Andre Bouchon get the assists. That was a second period goal. Then in the third period, Ken Hodge gets his 11th of the year at 8:18 from J.F. Quintain. And again, I want to reiterate the point, as that's our final score, 2-0 tonight. You can't fault Troy Gamble at all. I think the power play goal was deflected by Cherbayev, and Hodge's goal was clearly a case of the Aero defense not able to get the puck out.
No, they in that particular situation, Robinson made a great play, one with the deflection, and then number 2 with another shot off the stick. Gamble with a save off of the blocker, but Kevin Grant just didn't get out quick enough. And all we were talking about is a millisecond. He reckoned, I got to get out there. And as he went to break, boom, the puck was behind him. And, you know, Hodge, let's face it, is not exactly chopped liver. He had 2 30-goal seasons playing for the Boston Bruins.
Let's take a look at tonight's final stats, brought to you by James Coney Island Restaurants. Final score, 2-0 Kansas City. Final shots, I think, are turned around there. It's 34-27 in favor of the Aeros. They outshoot the Kansas City Blades tonight. 11 penalties for Houston for 43 minutes, 7 for Kansas City for 17 minutes. Look at that power play number, Barry. 0 for 7 as opposed to 1 of 7 on the Kansas City Blade side. So the Aero penalty killing, including a couple of 2-man disadvantages they killed off. But the power play goes 0 for 7. And that is one of the things that did kind of kill the Aeros tonight. 2-0 Kansas City, and we'll wrap things up next from Kemper after this. Welcome back, everybody. Kemper Arena, Kansas City, Missouri. Adam Gordon along with Barry Warner. 2-0 the final tonight. The Kansas City Blades and the Aeros now have dropped 5 in a row, and we'll take you back and show you how it happened as we take a look at tonight's highlights. And they're sponsored by Toyota. Here's the big shot by Rathje. Still, I'm not so sure, but they say that it was deflected by Alexander Cherbayev for his 6th of the year. It was 1-0 at that point in favor of Kansas City. But as is the case, here's that nice goal by Ken Hodge. Wine, shoot, score. Tickle the twine. Gamble, I just don't think he expected it, as it was from behind the net. Ken Hodge gets that goal, his 11th of the year. And the Aeros fall tonight by a score of 2-0. And the
this is what killed the Aeros, excuse me, Adam.
No, you're right.
All night long, Larry Dick comes up with a save there and a rebound save. I'm just robbing Mike Gill. We thought it was going to be goal number 3. How in the world he made that save is beyond me.
See, I told you. You said that Larry Dick hadn't made any reach behind saves, and there was run right there. He came up with a nice glove stop on Mike Yo. And the Aeros, well, now just kind of shake their heads and wonder with a 2-0 hockey loss.
And I'm still wondering who Larry Dick upset in Milwaukee. We'll find out tomorrow night because he was Milwaukee property. They placed him on waivers on November 7th.
The Aeros have 1 goal against Larry Dick. It was back a week ago in the Summit. And Larry Dick, the one that he gave up was a fluke that kind of went off the mullions, the uprights, and Mario Chitteroni almost missed it too on the empty net, but he had a little trouble, and the Aeros go on to lose tonight 2-0. The executive producer and director of Houston Aeros hockey is Paul Bykowski. Tonight's game has been directed by Aaron Silverman, and it's been produced tonight by Tim Sinclair. Remote production facilities provided tonight by American Cablevision. Transmission services provided by Hughes Television Network. Catch our next Aeros telecast tomorrow night at 7:30 p.m. when the Houston Aeros take on the Milwaukee Admirals live from Bradley Center. Coming up next on Paramount 20, it's In the Heat of the Night. And for our radio listeners, the Houston Aeros postgame highlight show. For Barry Warner and all the staff at Paramount 20, this is Adam Gordon saying thanks for watching Houston Aeros hockey. This has been a copyrighted presentation of Houston Aeros and KTXH Television.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Houston Aeros and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form without the express written consent of the Houston Aeros.